Hello and welcome to Versus Live. Once again, I am Ross Merriam.
And I'm still Corey Baumeister.
And we've got Rob in the booth say, it wasn't your fault, Ross, Rob.
It wasn't your fault, Ross, Rob.
Rob will be taking all of your questions.
Say that 10 times fast.
Comments, concerns, and burns in the chat. Make sure to tag at StarCityGames so he can see them and send his favorites over to us. Sorry for those early technical difficulties, but we've got it squared away and we should be set for the rest of the show.
And it was all Rob's fault.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm going to blame Dan on that one. Blame the commander people.
Okay,
Yes.
sure.
Well,
Blaming
I'm happy
someone
to do that.
outside of this room, I can get behind that.
Yeah. As we were saying before the technical difficulties interrupted us, we're both very excited that the Innistrad Crimson Vow preview season has come about, even if it's a little bit of a quick turnaround. That's because there really hasn't been anything happening. Last weekend, it was really unfortunate that SCG Con just got canceled.
Yeah.
And nothing happened. We were all really disappointed by that fact. So really happy to have something to, re-engage us with Magic and something to talk about.
What in the hell was I playing this weekend? Did I just play a side event or?
I think you must have dreamed it.
I jumped in a fountain for this. Did I just win a side event and I just didn't know?
Yeah, you jumped in a fountain, and you're going to have to go to court for that, Corey.
I actually thought I was going to get in trouble for that. I'm not going to lie.
I threw it out there as just an idea, and I'm like, there's a 50-50 chance Corey's all just going to go for this.
Yeah, he said it within like 10 seconds. I was already taking my slides and socks off. I was like, yeah, anything for a good picture.
I'm surprised you weren't already in the fountain.
Yeah, I was contemplating it.
So Corey, of course, congratulations for taking down
Thank you, buddy.
Invitational last weekend. I'm really just mostly fortunate that we don't have to completely replay all of those decks. Just we can move on, really kind of forget it. I knew Corey was going to bring his trophy, so I decided to bring some reinforcements myself, just to make me feel a little bit better about my own life.
You know what makes me feel better about my life in that situation here is Ross walks here, so he had to have carried 5 trophies with him down the street. Wow. And that
got a backpack.
That personally makes me feel better. I had my nice heated car that I just sat this in the seat, buckled it up, of course, for safety. But yeah, that's hilarious. Such a 1-upper, such a 5-upper.
Yeah. Well, 4-upper, right? 5 minus 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had to correct you. That's going to happen a lot today.
I'm not doing it today.
Just be forewarned.
This is the exact opposite of who I expected to walk out of the studio.
We got to keep everybody on their toes here on Versus Live.
That's true.
Yeah, which is why we're going to play Standing Up today.
Oh, interesting. Okay, these camera views are going to be interesting for Twitch.
Did we not tell you that, Rob? I hope you reset the camera.
I was ready for the hot tub stream. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, this isn't a standing desk, Rob.
Okay, so we are going to be playing some Innistrad Crimson Vow. A lot of cards got previewed over the weekend, unsurprisingly, Halloween weekend. A nice spooky time for some spooky cards.
Time for some vampires. Yeah, that makes sense.
And we have brought you 6 sweet brews, starting with Rakdos Vampires, which is going to be my first deck. If we can go to the overhead, we got a lot of new cards here. The blood tokens are really sort of the theme here from the Vampires and Innistrad Crimson Vow, so I'm trying to push that as hard as possible. We've got our Voldaren Bloodcaster that is going to create tokens when things die. Angie that's going to create blood tokens when they enter the battlefield, so we get them coming and going.
Yep.
We can use those tokens to transform Voldaren Bloodcaster. We can use them to bring back our Falconwrath Forebears.
Or just drain kill. Like that ability, I actually think is pretty good.
Yeah, I think that the thing that I like really 2 things about Vampires here, and one is that it seems very good at racing. We got a lot of evasive creatures. We got a lot of reach. Dominating Vampires are really good effect for racing. That act of treason on a creature.
And just draining. Draining is really good in aggro matchups, too.
Yep. So a lot of ways to, push yourself over the finish line, even in the face of more powerful cards. And then I really like the addition of Voldaren Estate. 2-color aggro decks have long had issues in Standard, and it's mainly due to the mana bases.
Yep.
That they just don't, there's not enough dual lands. Usually you need 3 dual lands in a 2-color mana base to make it work. Yep. And there's always 2, and there's never 3.
Yeah.
But Voldaren Estate is that 3rd. We've got the Pathway, we've got the Slow Land, and now Voldaren Estate gives Vampires specifically that 3rd dual land that they need to really round out the mana base, make sure that you hit both colors consistently, and that I can cast things like 1 red for a Dominating Vampire on turn 3 into 2 black for Sorin on turn 4. Because Voldaren Estate doesn't really help Sorin. But by
turn 4, you have the fashionably late lands now,
Yes.
Haunted Ridge or whatever, right?
And just the addition of Voldaren Estate lets you manipulate the rest of your lands so that cards like Sorin are more castable.
Yeah, no, and I mean, we even see that in Standard right now, like the Izzet decks are so good at beating aggro decks if they stumble at all, but that's why we see mono green, mono white right now because, well, you get Faithless Haven, which is a big thing, but the mana bases are bad, so we see it in Standard right now, so maybe it'll be a little different. So.
And then, just one more thing in my sideboard, Vampire's Vengeance. I think another great card here for creature mirrors. And Corey's playing a creature deck as his first deck, so it should be important in the matchup.
Yeah, that should be sweet too. So deck I am playing is it was originally created this last weekend. I kind of built off this, had some Magic players over at the house. So Harlan Fear, Zach Allen helped me with some of these decks, which is pretty sweet. But this was Raja Suleiman, I believe is his last name. Maybe I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name there. But they built a really cool Bant deck that they did pretty well with. Like, I was surprised. I played some practice games here in the SCG office with Harlan, and like I won the first 3 games. I was like, okay, maybe this deck seems kind of bad. And then I was just like, he won the next 3 games, and like we went very even. But I think it was a very good deck for the tournament, and we're just building upon it now. Just being able to put some really good creatures down, back them up with counter spells, and now back them up with really nice removal spells. Valorant Stance we got a couple of remakes. We'll start with those. Valorant Stance as a remake for taking down big creatures, going to be great against like mono green. Even great against like Adeline. Maybe you give him a attack trigger or whatever, which isn't ideal, but still being able to have a card that both protects and destroys. This was a staple in Siege Rhino Standard, so I wouldn't expect this to be, too much worse now. And I mean, still kills Goldspan Dragon as well. So
plenty
I
of
think
targets.
The card's interesting.
Yeah, and also it's keep in mind it's toughness. So it kills Smoldering Egg, it kills Leer.
Oh yeah,
it kills a lot of the creatures out of the Izzet deck specifically, which is usually where your removal is at its weakest.
Well, yeah, it does kill Leer too. Yeah, it just kills all of them, huh?
Yeah. Valor Stance
and protects against like battle and stuff. As an Izzet player, I don't like this. Speaking of I don't liking things as an Izzet player, Thalia as well.
Oh, yeah, Guardian of Thraben.
Thalia's back, yeah. Thalia is going to be awesome. And I mean, just absolutely incredible against these Izzet decks. We look at Izzet being one of the better decks, and it kind of proved it over the weekend. It's a split format, so it's always tough for me to judge because I actually think your deck was awesome for the weekend. I thought it was very good.
I really like my standard deck, and I'm sure I will be adding Thalia to it.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, when you get a top 8 that's like all blue decks, it feels really bad, but when it's half of it's another format, it's like, that changes a lot of things. There were 2 undefeated blue-white control players in the top 8 and stuff, when it came to Modern. I was undefeated with Death Shadow as well. So those numbers get a little skewed because I didn't do that great with my standard deck up until the top 8, But
up until the matches that really counted, I just wasn't doing so well, and then I swept all of those.
And
very
then those
casual.
were better. Yeah.
Now it's
Pretty
my
fun.
turn to get up and walk out.
Okay, good. Yep. Come and sit down. We're playing you now, Rob.
We're going to do that joke a lot today.
Yeah.
So
a lot of storming out of the office.
Just be prepared.
So then for the mana base, we get the inclusion of the other fashionably late lands.
Yeah.
Get the rest of them. So green-blue gets a help here.
It's going to be interesting to me now with 3-color decks.
Yeah.
How many of these lands people can play? Because you can't play 12.
I think you can.
You really?
I really do, as long as you don't have 1-drops.
Sure.
Because it's so common to play this on 1, on 2, a Pathway, a Field of Ruin, whatever. You probably can't play Field of Ruin if you're playing 3, but, some other land, and then play this on 3. Like, I think if you don't need something on 1, I think you just max out on them. But if you do, even if you're like Grixis and you're playing Duresses and stuff, I think that's worse. But I just think these lands are really strong, and that sequence of turn 1 of these, something else, turn 3 this, is still really good.
But you also have 12 pathways. I don't think you would play 12 of these before you played 12 pathways.
What if you there's 24 lands.
There's 24, but then you're probably going to want to play some number of creature lands, Field of Ruins, basic lands for opposing Field of Ruins. Like you need probably like 3 or 4 other lands of those. Maybe you want to play some number of modal double face cards.
Yeah.
So it just seems to me like you've run out of space. And I would probably start trimming on these first, just because I don't want to have a hand with 4 of them and have tapped land on turn 2.
Yeah.
I think that's a recipe for falling behind.
I actually think the way I would approach these 3-color decks would be taking an even amount of these and pathways out of whatever color combination you have less. You know?
Okay.
Like
yeah, so it's more about where is your splash color and where you can reduce sources. That makes sense.
But then still keep them pretty even because, yeah, you know, you want to play some layers in this deck.
Yeah.
You do want to play one basic for field, I think. I think just one.
Yeah,
but,
one is probably fine.
and then who knows about the rest. But, yeah, we're going to find out from playing. That's the joy of it.
There's so many options now for lands.
Yeah.
Even though we're still pretty early. We're going to add, 3 more sets to this standard format.
We will, won't we?
And we
Yeah.
already have, for 3 color decks, you have Pathways, which are great. You have these slow lands, which are great. You have multiple double face cards. You have creature lands. You have Field of Ruin. You have basics.
And I think we're getting Triumphs next set, would be my guess. Kamigawa,
Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
Last time
but-
Kamigawa came around, they gave us the worst set of lands I've ever seen.
Snarls?
No, these were worse.
Okay. I can't even talk. I played 3 Snarls this weekend.
There was do you not remember the Kamigawa basic non-basics?
I don't.
It was an uncommon cycle of lands that either tapped for colorless or tapped for one of 2 colors, but if they did tap for colored, they didn't untap the next turn. They were unplayable.
Wow.
Completely unplayable.
It makes sense why I don't remember those.
Yes.
That's awful.
There's a reason that Kamigawa Block Constructed had only multicolored green decks, because you could play Sakura Tribe Elder and Kodama's Reach.
Okay.
Or monocolor decks.
Wow.
There were literally no other options.
That sounds awful. All right, I'm going to get through my last couple cards here, and then we'll get started since we've been chatting a bit. But the other green inclusions, Tauren's Fists of the Angels. I think this card seems pretty awesome to me. So 1 colorless green-white, 2/2 legendary human cleric training. Whenever this creature attacks with another creature with greater power, put a 1/1 counter on it. Gonna work really well as this curve. And whenever you cast a creature spell, create a 1/1 green and white human soldier token with training as well. So if you already have the creature in play, we of course do not have these, but we'll use this just for reference, as a 1/1. And if we were to be attacking with all of these, I'd get a counter on each of these, if I'm understanding it correctly.
Yes, that is how that will work.
Which seems pretty strong to me. I think training is going to be very much paired with haste.
Yeah.
Haste seems incredible with these
Another
cards.
reason why Ovenwald Oddity seems excellent.
I agree. Yeah. Openwald Oddity has, even if you count the flip side, about 1/4 the text of Questing Beast, but that's about the comparison we're kind of going with. Card was really good. There's some ways to deal 4 and stuff. Valorous Stance being one of them as well. Thundering Rebuke. There's answers to this. So I'm not completely sold on this. But Trample and Haste are really 2 important abilities on this card. Yeah. So I think that card could be good as well. And then in the sideboard, where you have a little bit of a exploit counter spell, not even or counter creature, not going to come up here. But it is a cool thing to keep in mind. Against other decks, maybe other Izzet decks, but against a vampire deck, probably not going to happen.
Yeah, I don't really want counter spells in the aggro mirror.
No, not really. All right, well, while we shuffle up for the first game, Rob, we got any intro questions here for us?
Yeah, the first is obviously a card already in your deck that you kind of talked about already, but do you think Thalia is going to have a huge impact on the format? I saw a lot of reactions personally on Twitter ranging from this card's going to be really good and help push Epiphany out of the meta, and then other people were just like, it's just 1 extra mana, and there's plenty of ways to kill it.
I think it's going to be great.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be great, because here's the application. It's going to be, naturally slots right in that mono white deck, right? Maybe it's not a Paladin class deck anymore like you had it, and you're just have your few amounts, and even that, it costs 2, whatever, that's fine. But the thing that I love is, yes, it hurts Epiphany, even 2 mana. There's a lot of times Epiphany just goes 1 mountain go, and you go Thalia, and they're like, okay, now I can't kill it this turn. I have to use my turn 2 instead of foretelling. Already did a great job right there, But then up against these aggro decks, slowing down Azeka's Chariot for a turn, making Blizzard Brawls a little bit more awkward. There's a lot of spells in mono green as well, so I think Thalia is going to be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thalia is just a very good card. If you remember back when it was first printed, it was a key part of Humans decks that were quite successful during that time. I know we all remember these days the Blue-Eyed Delver decks, but Thalia was one of the best cards against them, even when they had Gut Shot, which is probably tailor-made to beat Thalia.
Well, it's tailor-made for you. That's just a tailor-made Ross Merriam card.
It's a great Magic card.
Yeah, that's true.
So the Thalia still managed to have an impact in that environment where people were playing cheap spells, and a 0 mana removal spell that could kill it was still an effective card. And so it's going to be good. It's easy to say, oh, it's just 1 extra mana, but you've got to understand that it's 1 extra mana across many, many turns. So you're throwing off their entire curve. and oftentimes you're getting a full extra turn to finish them off before they set up their really powerful endgame against a control deck.
Yeah, and think about the powerful endgame from the Is It decks. A lot of it includes Galvanic Iteration into something. Now it costs 2 more.
Yes.
You know,
very good point.
The copies, you still don't have to like pay on the copy when it comes in, right?
You're not
Yeah,
casting
okay,
the copy.
But yeah, still, that's like if I wanted to go Galvanic, Unexpected Windfall, that's 8 mana now, and that's a very popular thing you want to do against aggro decks. That's like that's your bridge gap before you just go nuts, you know. So yeah, I think Thalia will be good if it has a good just creature deck, but I just already see it in the mono white deck, and it already seems awesome there. So
Yeah.
okay, shall we battle?
Let's do it. I will be on the play.
Do you? Oh, the marbles are over there, I guess. Yep. Okay.
We didn't have room for them over here because of all the trophies.
Oh, okay. So you just by default gave them to me?
Yeah. You know.
Okay, you're a good friend. You're a good friend.
I'm playing a lot of aggro decks. I wanted to be on the play.
Okay.
I will keep this hand. It seems fine.
Yeah, I'll keep as well. And just look at this hand as far as mana base goes. This is a fashionably late pathway mana base, and we get to do exactly what we called at the beginning of the show. So
Okay, I will play Mountain and pass the turn.
all right, so we'll start with one of these, and I'll pass to you.
Lightstep Pathway, Voldaren, Bloodcaster.
Okay, that's the one when it dies. And believe it or not, I did not get to look at a lot this weekend. I was doing that side event here at the Berglund Center, so I might be reading along with all of y'all, so forgive me, but yeah, this is the one that dies. You get one?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a good card.
Whenever it or another non-token creature I control dies,
Okay.
I get a blood token.
All right, I have Thalia. Not going to be the best against you, but
Steas would like to know if y'all thought about playing for trophies today instead of the marbles.
playing for trophies? Yeah, absolutely. If I get some equity here where if I win, I get all 5. If you win, you get this one. I'm in.
I think I'm good there.
Okay.
Let's get in for 2.
All right, 18.
18. Unfortunately, I did not draw a third land here, but I have some good 2-drops, namely Vampire Socialite.
Yep.
So that'll put a counter on each of the vampires since you lost life this turn.
Yep. Okay. Yep, that's a great card. Honestly, that is a
turn.
card that was like so close to being good, even in this last set. Just wasn't quite there. But now it seemed like it's getting the help. It truly deserves.
This is one of the big tribal payoffs to be a 2-color vampire aggro deck.
Yep. Agreed. Okay. So now I have another one of these lands. This is the kind of nice curve that I think is what Standard is really going to be about.
You're a base green-white deck. You have 2 sources of each. You have your third color.
Wow, this is interesting if I actually want this. Yeah, I probably still do. I'm going to play Redain. I'm just going to say go. That way I can present some blocks. Yeah, go ahead. I just got to give this one more double check. Yeah, 5 or more. This is the transform one. Okay.
Okay, we hit our third land. That's good. Now I have 2 options, really.
Okay.
I can just kill something and get in with both creatures, or I can get in with...
Yeah, my these cards are not necessarily great against the Vampire Tribe, unfortunately, but... Decisions.
Yeah, I do have decisions. I think I would rather advance my own battlefield while still applying a lot of pressure here and leave myself more options with the other cards. I'm going to take a point, go to 19.
Okay.
I'm going to play Dominating Vampire.
Okay.
So it enters the battlefield, I gain control of target creature with mana value less than or equal to the number of vampires I control till end of turn, and it gains haste. So I'll take the Raidane.
Okay.
And then I can get in with a 3/2 flyer.
I would like to block none of them.
Yeah. Attack for 7.
Okay.
Puts
I'm at
you to
11.
11. And then you get the Raidane back, and it'll be your turn.
All right. That was pretty fun.
And I took a point from the estate, so I'm at 19.
I loved that. Yeah, you didn't get the combo of playing this post-combat, kind of thing, but still completely fine.
Yeah. A little bit of awkwardness with Dominating Vampire and Socialite. Look, this is a pre-combat card. This is a post-combat card.
True. All right. Well, your battlefield is quite scary. I don't have a ton going on. I got a couple options. I think I probably want to just go with this. Although, this one isn't bad as well. All right, I'm going to go with this thing. We'll get a counter on it. Pump the team. And I'm just going to attack for 3.
Okay, puts me to 16.
Yep, and then I'll pass to you. Guess this is a pretty big liability against this.
Yeah.
Just pumps your teams. Uh-oh.
Not the best, but...
Let's hope you don't have another one of those.
I do not.
Hooray!
I did draw another land.
So now your stuff is... I guess your Sorens are not in great shape right now. That's for sure.
No.
You got a 7-mana Soren over there?
So...
You ever just get sick of holding cards and just wish you had somewhere to just hold them so you can continue to play your game? See,
It seems incredibly inconvenient.
I don't know, man. It's look at this free hands. I can drink a coffee now. Like, this is just nice. Need a spot for your coffee?
Yeah. I think it's pretty clear that I just have to deal with this adversary, so I will Infernal Grasp it.
Okay. So you take a
3,
2.
Brings me to 14.
Yep.
And I can get in... so if I could attack with everything, and Corey has the option of double blocking Socialite, taking 6, going to 5, or I can just get in for this 6 and give him the option of trading for one of my creatures. Be trading the Raidane for one.
Yep.
I guess if you double block here, I could kill either, but I think I would rather just get the flyer out of the way.
Yep.
So the question is, do I care about throwing this away to get an extra damage? I don't think at this point I'm ready to do that, so just get into
I
those
would
two.
have snapped that block off.
Yeah. If you were at, like, you know, maybe 8 or something, I was getting you to 2.
Yeah, I think that'd be reasonable. So instead, yeah, I think I just want to deal with the flyer. We'll just block that.
Okay, so you go to 8. This dies. I get a blood token.
Okay.
We'll be using Corey's for those because when I imagine him, I think about blood.
Wow. I mean, we did watch the movie Carrie a couple of times the first time we hung out, but sure, I guess. I'll correspond that.
So you're at 8. I'm at 14, and I will pass the turn.
And blood is just sack, discard, draw.
1 tap sack.
Oh, you have to pay mana.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And you rummage.
That's not as good. Still feeling not great. I haven't drawn too many non-land permanents here so far, but yeah, really only one play here. One good one at least, and I will play this and play some defense. I'll pass to you. Didn't like that you didn't rummage, so your hand is probably good.
Yeah, to be honest, I...
Forgot?
Yep. Should have done that.
Oh, man. Honestly, the only reason I won this trophy is because the highest pinnacle of play is versus live, so I had, a good amount of training, but that's our first mistake right there.
Yeah.
That's the first one.
We usually don't make those kinds
No.
of mistakes. Do I want to throw away a creature to attack here? Here at 8.
God, let's hope this is what Standard is actually all about. Blocking? I haven't blocked in 3 days.
Yeah, I'm gonna attack with both creatures.
Okay. That is scary, but I think I will just go like this.
Okay. Socialite down. You take
Okay.
3.
Yep.
Brings you to 5.
5.
Second main, I will play a Socialite, get a counter on the dominating.
Okay.
Then I'll take a point, play another Socialite. So I'm at 13. Because of the first Socialite, the second will enter with a counter. It will also give a counter to the first one and a second counter to the dominating.
Oh. Okay.
And now I think it's pretty clear to Corey why I made that attack.
It's starting to make sense, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I very much wish I discarded this card to the blood, especially given the card I drew.
Yeah, your go.
Holding up 6 mana.
I got 6 mana.
could be a Valorous stance for the dominating vampire. Regardless, I think I will start on a Florian.
Florian, Yorian's younger brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yorian, a bird and a vampire related. What of it? Yeah, that's fine.
They both fly.
They both fly, yeah.
And I'd like to declare tax.
Okay.
I will send in with everything that can.
I will double block a socialite.
I will put Thalia first.
I will Valorous stance.
Yep. So,
Yep.
so these trade. You take 3.
Yep.
Brings you to 2.
I'm at 2.
Beginning of post combat, I look at the top 3.
By the way, I love Florian. I think this card was already very close to being good, and I actually found a deck where it was decent in. I just found a Jund deck, a Jund Chariot deck where it was just completely fine. But yeah, I think that card's got big things.
I will exile Valentin, which is actually great here.
Okay.
I'll take 1, go to 12, and cast it. It'll enter with a counter from the socialite. So I'm at 12. Then I'll play my land for turn so I can sack this blood token and pass the turn.
Okay.
Now I have 2 lethal menace creatures.
Transform! Attack!
So I'll go to 4.
Yeah, you win.
Yeah, I had Florian in my hand 2 turns ago. Like the turn that I forgot to sack the blood token, my hand was Florian double socialite.
Yeah.
And I knew I was going to play socialite. Florian didn't look so good on the board. Then I just drew a second Florian and really wish I had done something else.
I had 9 lands. So that's not great. I got a little flooded. But, outside of like Tracker, there's not a ton of card advantage here. So, do you want to play Prees or do you want to...
Can we actually do a sideboard game real quick? I need to fix the focus on the camera a little bit, so I wouldn't mind taking just a quick break.
Okay, sweet.
Sure.
We will take a short break because I have a lot of bad cards for the matchup anyways. Rob, I'll give you that $20 for heading us to break early. I appreciate that. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Sideboarding will be coming up next here on Versus Live. Welcome back to sideboarding here between Bant Midrange and Rakdos Vampires. As you can clearly see here, we're bringing in these portable holes, bringing in Malevolent Hermits, as well as Brutal Cathar to deal with the creatures, taking out Redain, taking out Valorous Stance, I didn't even see this trophy here. I bet they couldn't see because of that. That was silly. I keep misplacing that, I woke up this morning and I was like, God dang it. What is this thing jabbing in my back? And I was like, it was the trophy. Shouldn't have slept with it, I guess.
Is it the 69 Jets that left their trophy when they got on the plane after the Super Bowl?
Just left it in the plane?
Yeah.
That I have no idea. But
Love it. So, unfortunately, have to bring out Thalia here and Valorous Stance, even though they are new cards. You have some, I did have a target there, but overall it was pretty weak, and I needed to deal with Florian, I needed to deal with Vampire Socialite. Portable Hole is going to take that role as well as Brutal Cathar. And then just Hermit. Sometimes I can peg a removal spell, but really, it blocks twice. Being able to flip it back, I think that actually is going to be somewhat valuable, as well as I can counter a Sorin or something like that. So that's what I'm doing.
And on my side, going to become a little bit more controlling in the post-sideboard games. I've got a lot of removal to bring in between Burning Hands, Bloodchief's Thirst, and Vampire's Vengeance, which should be great. I'm cutting my Infernal Grasp. I don't want to be a pure control deck here, and Grasp can be a liability, especially on the draw. I'm also going to bring in Westgate Regent. This is a big flyer to break these board stalls.
This is a new card too, right? It seems like it's a new card. Yeah.
Hopefully it gets really big.
Okay. That is pretty nice. That is a large creature.
Cutting my Falcon Wrath Forebears, this is going to be a card that maybe you can leave it on the play in aggro matchups, but in general, it's very easy for your opponent to tempo it with cheap removal, which everybody has in their sideboard. You can bring it back, but it just doesn't have much impact on the battlefield. In an aggro mirror, you need to be able to both attack and block. And so not being able to block is a big deal, so I'm cutting those. Trimming 1 Sorin. I'm bringing in some other big threats in the Westgate Regents. Sorin can be a liability if I fall behind and I can't use the +1 that effectively. You still get the -2, and with a bunch of removal, the +1 can be something that pulls you ahead, even if it costs you a little bit of life.
Do you think this card's going to see actual play in Standard? It's like, I'm kind of thinking it won't.
This is the kind of card that I like, and it's good in there's a lot of ways to create blood tokens, so I think it's pretty easy to bring back. To me, it feels like a card that's going to be very good in control matchups. But
they have Spikefield Hazard. That's why I don't think it's good.
Yeah, so if the control decks continue to be like that, I want to think long term. This card's going to be in Standard for a year and a half.
Sure.
I assume there will be times when we have control decks without Spikefield Hazard.
Yeah, just like the Dimir control decks. Those were a thing. I could see that. The thing that I'm worried about is like aggro, you really like to block, and we've seen a card like that with that template in Standard, Skyclave Shade, and it's even easier to bring back, and we still don't see play with that one, so I'm very skeptical on that one.
Shade has definitely seen play. I would compare this more to Flame Skull, which is yet to see play.
That's true. Nicolas Cage, right?
Yeah. But this one also can create blood tokens when it's attacking, so it generates some value there. You have the synergies with all the vampires. A lot of it's going to be about how good the shell is as a whole.
True.
All of these vampires. I'm not sure how many of them are great standalones. Like Falconwrath Pit Fighter, that's solid 1-drop.
Yeah.
But the rest of them really they're going to depend on each other.
And I do actually think like I kind of take it back now, just thinking like Vampire Socialist on 2, attack with that into that. That seems insane to me actually.
Yeah.
That seems good. Something that can't get Spikefield Hazard. That could really change the card for me. All right, so let's battle.
Real quick, while y'all are shuffling up, we did have a question on one of the new mechanics.
Okay.
How do y'all think about, or what do y'all think about Cleave? Do you feel like that is a very good standard mechanic going forward?
Isn't Cleave just kind of kicker? Isn't it kind of the same thing?
Yeah, I mean, essentially, it lets them do some different things. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they had a Cleave card where the Cleave cost was a completely different color.
Yeah.
Like, Dig Up is green into 1 black, green, but I could see one that is, red, and then the Cleave cost is like 2 and a white, and it ends up being a sort of Boros card. So it gives them a little bit of more leeway as opposed to kicker, but functionally very similar.
Cool.
So it's not that like the mechanic is super strong by itself. It's not an inherently powerful mechanic.
Yeah.
It's just going to depend how powerful the cards with it are.
Yeah, it's all going to be contextual to that, but I think it is a really cool design space.
Yeah.
Like I think I'm playing a couple Cleave cards a little bit later on, but I think the thing I'm still like gun shy about is like anything with Cleave in it. I'm like, no, I hate it. Ember Cleave, get out of here. Like I don't want that coming back ever.
The one I like and I'm somewhat excited by is a Boros one, which is it's started as a Kabira takedown, but the Cleave cost is just X red white, and it can go upstairs.
Okay.
And I think it can. I'm not entirely sure.
Sure.
But you can just pay X red white and deal X instead of equal to the number of creatures you control. So if it's like late game and you have no real battlefield and you top deck it, it's still really good.
Okay.
That seems really cool, but
that's kind of cute.
You still have to create a Boros mana base, which is going to be difficult.
Going to be tough, yeah. No, I think I really do. Just game 1 there of how this 3-color mana base felt, as long as you don't have 1-drops. So, but you not being able to have 1-drops fits the mold of you just going into a mid-range deck, and mid-range decks do scare me quite a bit up against Epiphany. But when you do have Redain, when you have Thalia and stuff, maybe there could even be like a Naya mid-range deck that plays those hate cards for Epiphany. It's awkward because you really want to play Showdown. Showdown and Thalia are not buds.
No.
Not buds. But yeah, that card is still just one of the most broken cards in Standard that is seeing 100% zero play.
Yeah.
Like that one is just always on my watch radar. It's like just thinking, where can we put this card? Because it's so good, but it's
also the exact kind of card that Alrund's Epiphany just goes way over the top of.
Exactly. That is the problem. Alrund's Epiphany, kind of banned these snow decks, kind of banned these Storm the Festival decks, but it low-key kind of banned Showdown decks too, which is a bummer. But
and normally you would think, okay, if they build these sort of aggressive mid-range decks that have Thalia and Redain that can push out the Epiphany decks, then now I can go over the top of them in a mid-range way with cards like Showdown, but they're playing Redain and Thalia to make your Showdowns bad.
Yeah. I mean, it could be something like, in the main deck, you play just a normal Showdown deck, and then you just have 4 Thalias, because Redain doesn't hit Showdown your own, right? Redain is everything on your opponents?
Yes.
So something like that could be possible. You transform out the Showdowns in the Thalias, max out on Redains. That seems annoying to have to play against, that's for sure. Yeah. But then again, you still want to play Azeka's Chariot, I'm guessing, That's another thing.
It's tough. It's tough when you have so many options.
I'll be trying that on Thursday. Also, keep an eye on my Twitter, y'all. I'll have a preview card to release today. So it's a spicy one. I would have released it during the show, but I just could not figure out how to get the right formatting to release it. So that's my bad. But I'll be doing it after the show.
And he says I'm the one who's bad with technology.
I do say that, and I still mean it.
Corey, you can stream now, can't you?
I can, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. You could probably stream too, right, Rob?
Oh, yeah, easily.
So, could you stream right now, you think?
Yeah.
How so?
I'll just use Travis's computer.
Oh, okay. Perfect. Yeah, it seems like out of the three of us, Rob, it's definitely me that's bad with technology, right?
Oh, definitely.
Okay, perfect. I keep.
I will mulligan.
Okay.
I just wanted to keep this line of conversation going.
Or your phone works too, doesn't it?
My phone does work. Yeah,
mine does too. It's weird how that happens.
Do you know what this side button does over here too, bud? I mean, we could keep going, I feel. All right, Rob, you got a question for us while Ross shuffles and hates us quietly.
Yeah, I had a question about a new card. Let me pull it up so I can actually read it and make sure I know what it does. Where is it?
New cards. Either way, I'm still excited. I'm getting that fun feeling now that we're starting to play with new cards, but right away it was a bit of like new card exhaustion, but I'm ready to butcher card names again just for all of y'all.
Wait for this one.
Oh, great.
So this is a legendary creature vampire, Henrika Domnathi.
Sweet, can't wait.
It's a 1/3 with flying. At the beginning of combat,
for 3?
4.
Two black.
Sorry. At the beginning of combat, on your turn, choose one that hasn't been chosen. Each player sacrifices a creature. You draw a card and you lose 1 life or transform. The backside is Henrika Infernal Seer. It is a 3/4 with flying, death touch, lifelink, and for 1 black, each creature you control with flying, death touch, and or lifelink gets +1/+0 until end of turn.
What do you think?
Somewhat interesting here.
Yeah.
At first, I think, okay, my goal is really to transform it. So most of the time I'm casting this card, I'm going to transform it immediately. And then at that point, it looks worse than Nightguard Scavenger.
Yeah.
Right? The
Nighthawk Scavenger,
Nighthawk no, it wasn't. It's like Vampire Nighthawk.
Yeah, it's Nighthawk
It was called Nighthawk Scavenger?
Yeah, I think so.
Just called Nighthawk? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just, at that point, it seems worse than that card.
Yeah.
But then I think, well, actually, I can cast it and maybe get a little value up before transforming it. And it's pre-combat it's beginning of combat that you choose, right?
Yes.
So you could say, okay, I'm not going to be able to attack with this turn anyway, so I'll play it as a 1/3, get a card out of it, and then next turn transform it, and now I have a big Vampire Nighthawk that drew me a card.
Yeah.
And that seems pretty good.
That seems good,
And if
yeah.
you get full value out of it, where you're like, it comes down, you make them sacrifice their only creature, you sacrifice something irrelevant. Black has plenty of sacrifice fodder.
Yeah.
So it can do some interesting things. This is a card that I think I have to play with to really evaluate.
Yeah.
I don't have a strong feeling either way.
Yeah, let's try that on Thursday. That's for sure. Yeah.
I got a deck I can go in.
Okay. Perfect.
You
that's
know
an
me. I
interesting
like
one.
sacrificing Shambling Ghast.
That's true. Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
Only you still had your Whisper Squads.
If only. Don't hurt the man, okay? I like daggering Ross,
Please.
but don't physically hurt him,
We can only talk about Whisper Squad in hushed tones, Rob.
Yes.
I mean, we
Out
could
of
always play
respect.
Pioneer Modern. You could get it then.
Yeah.
There you go.
See,
All right,
the
I'm
only
going to keep
squad
my
I
hand.
respect is the Whisper Squad.
Did you mulligan?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
I'm looking at my second hand, and it's excellent.
Okay.
And I'm keeping it.
Okay, good call.
We'll put the card I can't cast on the bottom.
Good call. I'll play this, and I'll pass to you.
Can I change the card I put on the bottom?
You may not.
I'll start on a swamp and pass.
Ross punts on turn 1. More news at 11. All right, I have a Luminar. I'll put a counter here and pass to you.
Oh, that was a good draw.
Yeah, these mana bases continuing to impress me with this many pathways and fashionably late lands.
I will play a Voldaren Bloodcaster
Okay.
and pass the
That's
turn.
the 2/1. All right, okay. All right. I will play a land. And got a lot of good options here. Let's see. What do we want to do? I think I want to go like put a counter here and attack for 3.
17.
And play a tracker, get a clue, and I'll pass to you. The beats.
We got the beats.
Baby.
We got the beats.
We went 2 different ways on that one.
Yep. unsurprising. Now I've got some options.
Okay.
I can just do the curve out.
Yeah, the one thing I wanted to play around is his Vampire Pyroclasm card. Make sure I lost nothing to that. Because it doesn't kill your own creatures, right?
No,
Which is
it's
pretty
non-vampire creatures. It
cute. Yeah,
does
that's
damage
pretty cute.
Kind of an interesting spot.
Interesting. Well, I like that we're turn 3 in standard and there's that many options. Usually it's like, yeah, I have to play this, have to play that. And
I think with how much pressure I'm under, I've got to take the more conservative line. So let's get in for two.
gotta take the more conservative line. I'll attack. 18.
18. I mean, I was attacking regardless.
Yeah, of course.
Play Blightstep Pathway. Play a Vampire Socialite. Get a counter on the Bloodcaster.
Okay.
And then I'll Bloodchief Thirsty Aspirant.
Okay. Seems good.
Pass the turn.
All right. I will untap, draw. That's cute. It's pretty cute. Let's go with an attack for 4.
I'll go to 13.
And I go with a Catilda.
Sure.
And gonna play a land. And yeah, we'll YOLO it. I'll Brutal Cathar that. It is daytime. Past you.
Okay.
Yeah, Catilda pretty cute with Brybridge Tracker. I like that.
Yeah, that's a nice little synergy.
Yeah, a little combo. Yeah, sorry if my voice sounds a little raspy. Believe it or not, I did a lot of yelling this weekend. The amount of times I said, let's go.
Yeah, we need to get you some green tea, some honey, you know?
I really do, yeah. I think that's what a producer's job is for, Rob, so I'm,
Well, good thing I'm only a director.
dang it!
Yeah, I think I just have to fire it off, so I will play Vampire's Vengeance.
Yeah, that's what I was a little afraid of, but I think, still,
Get myself
that
a
play was
blood
too tempting.
token,
Okay.
and attack for 2 with the Socialite.
All right.
16. I could have tried to like get in with the Socialite.
I was gonna
first.
block.
Yeah,
I was going to block. I just had the vibe for it.
that's what I was thinking about.
Yeah.
Was like, what is the likelihood that Corey blocks here? And I thought it
Yeah.
was high enough that I should just.
It was. Good call. Okay. Well, I think that's a big slap in the face what I should do this turn. All right. I'll play Questing Beast, and I'll get in there.
Before blocks, I'm gonna pop this,
Okay.
pitching a Florian.
Hey, you should never pop a blood blister, okay? They get worse.
Yeah, I'll take 8, go to 5.
Okay, pass to you.
It's, attack for 4, I guess.
Okay, scary.
No, I think I only want to attack for 2.
Okay, 14, just to try to
14.
trigger the Socialite.
Yep. Because I am playing a Socialite here. It enters with a counter, puts counters on these.
That card really is probably the best vampire.
Yeah. Then I'll take 1 to make a red there, go to 4, play another one.
Jesus.
It enters with 2 counters and puts counters on everything else.
Jesus.
So now I'll pass the turn.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, had to do this to play around a removal spell because I was going to have to go to 4 from the estate. If I was going to stay at 5, I would have thought about getting in the extra 2 because that would have put Corey at 12. And so I have all 4 power creatures, so getting him to a multiple of 4 is relevant.
Yeah, it's pretty good. can just attack with both. You're 100% to just trade. Which is just what I might have to do. I mean, otherwise you can just crack back and basically kill me. Okay, well, let's do the only things we can do. I will play this, and then cast this, get a 1/1.
Okay.
Now there's really no point in me putting a counter on either one of these. If you only had 2 blockers, it would be awesome to put a counter here, because you couldn't double block. But since that's not the case, my aspirant counter should probably just go on this, even though this is kind of some dis-synergy, but yeah, so beginning of combat, we'll go here. I'm still too far away in mana from transforming, so I just want to kill some socialites because they can just get out of hand, but yeah.
Have to trade.
Yep.
If Corey had attacked first, I was going to bring up the point of it would be generally correct to double block the Trampler in case he has an instant speed removal spell.
Yep.
You would just die to it, and that would be horrible.
Nope,
and a lot of people just don't think about that, especially now with Valorous stance in the format.
Yep.
So those 2 die. I get 2 blood tokens.
Yep, and then I'll pass to you. Yeah, that was insane.
Still a bit of a scary board from Corey's side here.
Yeah, I like this Rakdos deck so far. It looks really nice. I have higher hopes that will be good than Werewolves. And Werewolves we thought were going to be busted immediately, you know?
Yeah.
But that looks good.
Okay, so yeah, you have to attack with a bigger thing than this to do anything there.
But this will get a counter on it.
Yeah.
Because this has training.
Yeah, they do have training. Okay. So I'm at 4. Yeah, I think I've got a pretty easy turn here. I will play Florian.
Okay.
I will attack with the flyer.
Yeah, that's busted.
Put
10.
you to 10.
Uh-huh.
Post combat, look at the top 4.
Florian's so good. The fact that you can play lands too is awesome.
Yeah, well, I hit 3 lands and a 5-drop, so we'll get a Haunted Ridge and play it.
Yep.
And I guess I will immediately sack a blood token, discard Voldarin Estate.
Okay.
Did not hit anything, so I will pass the turn.
Brutal Cathar one time.
That would kill me.
Yeah, I guess that'll do as well then, huh?
Yeah.
All right. A good sack of treasure. Well, how about 2 portables? Not bad, not bad.
Yeah, I think next turn, once I have a Burning Hands and I'm drawing an extra card,
I mean, you
feel
use a
pretty good.
den, too. You're getting pretty close to just pressuring me for lethal at that point.
Yeah. Came close to stabilizing there. Just fell a little behind on the play to the big creatures.
I mean, the thing is, my draw was perfect. Like, and I still almost lost, right? Like, Luminarch into Tracker, into 4/4 haste, you know, or I guess I had Brutal Cathar and Catilda there, but then into 4/4. You know, like, my draw is as good as this deck can possibly produce, and you still almost came back. So I have not too many high hopes on the draw here, if you don't stumble, you know? I'm really probably needing that.
Yeah, really needed.
That looks
I
good.
guess I dealt myself a point of damage with the land there.
Yeah.
The Voldarin Estate, and if I was at 5, I would have survived that turn, right?
No.
Oh no, because you put a counter on. No, you could deal exactly 5.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I needed to be at 6. Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, but still a close game there.
Very.
Really needed the to get if I'd gotten a 5/5. You know, instead I made 3 4/4s.
Yeah.
If one of those was a 5/5, I think I would have been fine.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, holy crap. 2-drop into Vampire Socialist into double Vampire Socialist has to be the best draw that deck can produce. You know, obviously you need it to connect, otherwise it's still pretty bad, but yeah, seems good.
Yeah,
seems really good.
It was very obviously a powerful card. You know, we've seen it's not quite Thalia's Lieutenant, but you know, it also starts as a 2/2 menace. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's as close as we've seen in a long time to Thalia's Lieutenant.
Yeah.
You got a question for us while we shuffle up for our third and final game?
Yeah, so, Corey, now that you won the Envy, what are you actually going to have your token be?
Let's see. Did we see it or no? I love Ryan Overturf to death, but I'm going to try to one-up his treasure token, I think. So for me, it was pretty close between Blood and Treasure, but I think, you know, Treasure... Essentially, it literally won me at the end. I won with Goldspan Dragon into all runs. Plus, Ragavan and Treasures is going to be pretty timeless and modern. I want my token to be good. I want it to be played. So we have me, Ross, Todd, and Brad have we came up with some ideas at the after party at my house that I think is really cool. I'm excited to share it with y'all, but we're gonna keep it under wraps for now. But it is gonna be a treasure token. So yeah,
It's gonna be pretty cool.
It is gonna be nice.
I was gonna say you've told me what it is, and I am incredibly excited.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool. I can't wait.
Okay, I have a like this. I think this hand looks better than it actually is, but it's a clear keep.
Yeah, I'm gonna mulligan. I think here my first play is a 3-drop. You know, once again, the mana base is fine. I truly do think this 12 pathway, 12 land.
Yeah.
I think it is just about perfect. But and honestly, I think that might open the door for 4-color aggro decks again. We haven't seen those. I haven't even had those in my head for a long time. But you know, like they truly could be on the menu again.
But I look at a deck like that, and I think I want some Amiria's calls in that deck because you can generate a lot of mana, especially with the 2-drop. I want, Lair of the Hydra for sure.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that I think could be really good additions to that mana base.
Lair, but
it's just about how many you can fit and what your color requirements are and all of that. So
Amiria's call is unplayable now. Fading Hope.
I mean, sure.
Yeah.
I'm speaking in general. I assume the metagame will change some.
Yeah.
But yeah, if it ends up being that casting Amiria's call in a world of 4 and Fading Hopes and Leers is not good, that's fine.
Okay, this hand looks pretty decent. Let's see what we want to do. Now the question is, do we want to be greedy or just put... Oh, man, I really want to be greedy with this. Oh.
He's going to be greedy. It's going to happen.
So good if we hit, but it's so bad if we brick.
Stop wasting everyone's time, Corey.
And get greedy?
You know you're going to do it.
Well, it's not the best idea. I'm going to not get greedy here. I'm going to make sure I can at least cast my spells on a decent curve.
Yeah, I'll start on Seer Step Pathway, Pit Fighter.
Okay.
First time I've had a 1-drop. That's nice.
Yep. A little bit of awkwardness with my mana here for the first time, but I think we're okay just going like this and passing to you.
Oh, we did it.
You did it?
Oh, we did it.
You drew a good one?
This hand didn't have a 2-drop, and I just drew Socialite.
Oh, God.
Attack for 2. Play Socialite, get a counter on the Pit Fighter.
Oh, yeah, you get a counter on that, don't you?
Yeah, so you're at 18.
Cut.
Yeah, I have to attack first. But
Done?
Yeah. Now I just get to curve out perfectly.
Yeah. Oh, punished for my decision there. That was a tilt. All right, I better portable hold this and pass to you.
Do I have anything I can play off Florian for no mana? No.
You got a bobble in there?
So I'll just attack for 3 and play my Florian.
15, okay.
Pass the turn.
So I have this. And better Brutal Cathar that and pass to you. Trying my best to break up your super nice curve here. That is a nice one. Honestly, that card was pretty close, too, for me for making it. And that's the one thing I like about the Vampires deck is just having more than 4 1-drops. Like, your other 1-drop isn't amazing or anything, but it's still a 1-drop that's playable. And that one's just good.
Yeah. I'll get him for 3.
Yeah, I'll take it. 12.
2 to 12. And I will play another Florian.
Florian. Okay.
Pass the turn.
You should play that pre-combat, right?
No, because then you just make the trade.
Oh, yeah. Touche, salesman. Touche. That's good.
Yeah, it was a little bit awkward there.
A little bit. Well, what do we want to do now? Not looking great. All right. Well, play this, and I'm going to play this, and hope you don't have your Pyroclasm card, or I'm dead. Pass to you.
Okay, so I'm going to have a pretty good play here.
I can imagine. I don't feel good.
I have a Dominating Vampire.
Oh, God.
Take a point from the estate to play it.
Okay.
Go to 19. Now, I would much rather Corey trade the Taurens for the Pit Fighter, so I'm going to steal the Brutal Cathar,
Okay.
and I will attack you for 8.
Yeah, I don't want to block, I think. So, yeah, I'll go to 4.
Puts you to 4. Florian triggers, I'll look at the top 8 cards.
Is it any creature, right? Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
It's just life that you've lost
Yeah.
this turn. So I'll look at the top 8.
That deck's insane. I really like the look of this Vampire deck.
Wow. It's about as bad as it could be. Yeah, literally the only thing I can play off of these 8 cards is a Valentin.
Wow. Okay. Sure. Guessing you want to play that?
I will indeed, and I will also play a Seer Step Pathway,
Okay.
and I'll pass the turn.
All right.
That could have been better,
All right. Well, I drew a good one.
but Corey is at 4.
I am at 4. All right. I don't have like any reason for more blue here. So let's just play these 2 creatures, get 2 more creatures. And let's put a counter on something. I could put a counter on
You
this.
get a clue too.
Oh, yeah, thanks. Could put a counter on this, get busy, and, give it a +1/+1 counter. That seems absolutely awful. So instead, I'm dead to the Pyroclasm. No point in playing around it. So I want to just act like you have absolutely nothing. And the best play for nothing, I think, is putting a counter here to block Florian. Then I can double block. Like I can block everything. So yeah, counter here, pass. Hope your last card isn't too good.
You 1 card in hand?
1 card.
Well, that was probably the best possible.
God.
It'll just be hope Corey doesn't have a removal spell.
Well, I'm tapped out.
Well, next turn.
Oh,
you're gonna get a turn.
Yay.
Yeah. Play Angie, Maid of Dishonor. Get myself a blood token
Oh.
and say if you don't kill it, you're dead.
Angie.
No good attacks. So
Okay. Well, it's not like I can swing him for lethal or anything. I don't actually have many ways to deal with Angie post-board since I sided out the Valorous stances. Sacrifice. I'm dead. Yeah, because you just kill me, right?
yes, 2 mana sack a creature, drain your, or a blood token.
Sack a creature, too?
Another creature or a blood token.
I thought it was just blood token, and I already thought that card was good.
Yeah. No, I can sacrifice any other creature to drain you for 2 as well.
Wow. Well, all these token synergies I do think were pretty awesome. If I didn't have that one big turn, aka I think if I was on the play here, where I didn't have that big turn for attack, like look at this with all these tokens.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, like you just although the Angie could potentially deal, a lot of damage though.
That's true.
Because
That's
it's
true.
also instant speed.
Yeah.
So and I get blood tokens when I'm casting creatures off the top.
Yeah.
It's definitely it's a great board stall card, and that's where we were. We're at a
Yep,
board stall.
yep.
I'm at 19. You're at 4, and I'm
Yeah.
just like, okay, I've got to find a way to close the game out. So this is the perfect card.
Dang, this is the first match I've lost in like the last 8 matches. But yeah, hey, I really like the look of that deck. I think that is really good. I think that's
Yeah.
just going to be a baseline, good aggressive deck that I think just will slot right into standard. Like I think about that against Epiphany, it seems fine. Think about that against the aggro decks, it seems fine. I think about that against mono white, and I think about that zombie or that vampire Pyroclasm.
Yeah. And I've got a bunch of dresses and go blanks
Yeah.
for the Is It matchup. So
Yeah.
and the big thing was the mana base. You tried during the last Innistrad preview season to play a
was
vampire aggro
bad.
deck, and you could only play the 4 1-drops because you were heavy red.
Yep.
You just have Pit Fighter. I have Valentin, which is actually pretty good in the deck, just to cheat menace creatures so that you can get in and trigger your Florians, turn on your socialites, do all of that stuff.
Yeah, because you get to trigger Socialite. Yeah, like you just did with Pit Fighter. But like, you get the token on it. That's true.
So it's just
That's
a cheap
true.
menace creature. And then, so you have a bunch of flyers, you have a bunch of menace creatures, you have dominating vampire, and you have good removal. This is a really difficult deck to block against.
Yeah.
Very difficult.
It really did. You had a lot of menace, which was just a problem. So
yeah. And I like that. I like that you have some creatures like Falconwrath Forebear. They're going to be better against heavy removal decks.
Yep.
You have some card advantage from Sorin, from Florian. You get to play creature lands, but the real big thing is you don't get to play all of these things if your mana doesn't work. Mm-hmm. And the mana working from Voldaren Estate is the really big deal because you always had all of these tools. You had access to all of them, but you didn't have. If you played all of the cards that you wanted to play to get the power level up to the necessary level to compete, you didn't have the consistency to go along with it. And you need both.
Yep, and the one big takeaway, I thought this was fine. It's a nice mid-range shell that I think is just a decent deck. I think it's totally fine, but the one thing I really want to point out from this is the mana base. It was awesome. Yeah. It was awesome. I never had any problems. The only reason I had problems is I contemplated playing this as my first land or this, and I just drew Lair. So I wanted to cast a white drop, but I couldn't play it. Like, that was just on me. Layer's the only... I guess there is this as well, so I guess I just drew the wrong half. But it wasn't that big of a deal, Like, I was able to still cast my spells, but the mana base looks clean, so I think 3-color mid-range decks are still on the table, but it can't be a 3-color aggro deck still with the design of these fashionably late lands. You just don't have one drop. So that does make Portable Holes awkward as well in the post-board games, even though they're just great cards. But I think, mana base is what we want to highlight from both of our decks right away, because it's turned on a lot of different stuff for Standard, and I'm excited to explore the rest.
Yeah, and that kind of stuff really helps. I've brought this up before, that if you look through Magic's history the last, let's say, 15 years, every time we've had Ravnica in Standard, the format has been really good. Yeah. Every Standard format with Ravnica. And... up until War of the Spark, that last one, wasn't particularly good because of how powerful field that was. Yeah. And then Throne came in and ruined everything. But outside of that one exception, if you look at both sides of Return to Ravnica Standard, both sides of original Ravnica Standard, which I loved, I'm sure not many of you at home remember back that far
I
back.
don't remember, to be honest. I'm a very enfranchised player who played... I played during those times, and I just don't remember. When a standard set rotates, I don't even know what Love Struck Beast does anymore.
But what happened, my theory as to why that is because the incredible mana bases that Ravnica Shocklands enabled allow a lot more malleability to standard decks. So decks are just able to adjust more, and it's harder to create a deck that is completely dominant because decks are able to find ways to beat you. If the mana bases are much more restrictive, then it's a lot harder to find that, or you might have the tools, but then you don't have the mana base to make it work.
Yeah, and I'll agree with you, that is good to an extent. Once you hit a point, and I believe it was like Pro Tour Milwaukee that we played, where it's just like 4-color, like Fetchland Shocks, like that kind of mana base is just too much, and then it's just 4-color soup decks everywhere, and that gets really old.
Because that can also get repetitive, because then you just only play like the 10 most powerful cards in the format all in the same deck.
Exactly, yeah, and your minor changes are what you're adjusting to one deck. So there is a point of going too far. We haven't reached that since, I think, that moment, and that's why Pioneer, even right when it came out, was like, no fetch lands. They knew, that stuff's unfun.
It was really just that moment and the era of Vivid Lands and Reflecting Pool, when people were playing Cryptic Command, Cloud Thresher, and Austere Command in the same deck, and it didn't matter.
And they were still wrong, because it was still fairies, but still, all right, so that does it for our first round. Second round, I'm going to be playing a little Grixis deck. This was kind of the breakout deck of Standard. Zach Allen, Robert Stanley, I believe there was, Kellen Pastor as well. He top 8'd. They all played this deck. They all did quite well. This is some functional upgrades to it in the Grixis colors, and it looks pretty cool for me. What do you got?
I'm going to be playing a little Jund mid-range. So a classic mid-range battle here at Grixis against Jund. Really taking advantage of Dig Up. A very powerful card, another mana fixer, but one that's super powerful late in the game when it turns into Diabolic Tutor.
Okay, sounds great. So we're going to take a short 5-minute break, and we'll be right back with round number 2 here on the SCG Invitational Live. Don't go anywhere. Goodbye.
Hello and welcome back to Versus Live. I'm Ross Merriam.
And I'm Corey Baumeister.
He should be doing this intro, but apparently he's got a little bit of a narcissist syndrome.
Sorry. Yeah, I didn't know we were still doing the show. It's shiny.
You know what happened to Narcissus, right?
Huh.
He fell in love with his own reflection in a pond and then fell in
And then
drowned.
drowned? Yeah. I have stared at this trophy a lot. It might be, yeah. Well, actually, I was just looking over my sideboard, so.
I'm just saying, maybe you should stay away from that fountain for a little while until...
Good call. I have went back there, yesterday, last night, just to relive it. Just jump in for fun.
Yeah.
So actually, yeah, good point. I should
I actually had to go bail him out.
Yeah.
It wasn't fun at 2 a.m, but...
You're not supposed to say that on air, bud.
Yeah, it was actually 3.
Yeah. Thank you for that. I was just singing in the fountain. That's why my voice is so raspy,
Rob will be taking all of your questions, comments, concerns, and burns in the chat. Make sure to tag at Star City Games so he can see them and send his favorites over to us. We are continuing our first exploration of Innistrad Crimson Vow and its potential impact on Standard. Played some more aggressive decks. I was a pure aggro deck. You're more of an aggressively slanted mid-range deck.
Yep.
Now we're getting into the pure mid-range side of things.
Where life makes sense. Yeah, because, mid-range is the thing that kind of lacked from Standard this with Innistrad Midnight Hunt. But on Versus Live for preview season, mid-range is always back. We're going to be playing some nice mid-range deck. But, honestly, this was one of the mid-range decks that did well at the Invitational. I don't think Zach did particularly well. I could be wrong. I think he was the original creator of it. But I know Robert Stanley went 6-0-2, I think, or something. He had like 2 draws. And
Smashed me.
Yeah, and then I think Kellen did quite well as well. So 3 great players. You'll put that out there. That maybe the deck was just okay, and they just made it look good. But
I think the deck was good. I think they found a really good spot in the metagame where they were bigger than the aggro decks, but small enough to get underneath. Yeah. The Epiphany decks.
That one smashed me. So
yeah, that was a hard thing to do. But I think they found it, and I think if we, in the next 2 weeks, if you're still playing the Standard format as a lame duck, I think you'll see a lot more Sedgemoor Witches. Over the coming weeks. So a really, really cool deck. Definitely something to look out for.
Sedgemoor Witch was in the finals against me, wasn't particularly good against me for what it's worth when it was just paired with a
also
Jameer
lost to
control.
Dominic in the tournament. I went 6-2 in Standard. Those are my 2 losses.
Nice, not bad. So Sedgemoor Witch was not Mono White's best friend, huh?
Yes, I was 6-0 against not Sedgemoor Witch and 0-2 against Sedgemoor Witch. So
I lost against both Mono White players as well. Those were my 3 losses. All right, so from my side here, like I said, playing the Grixis deck, some of our new inclusions, we get a Braid, just a historically amazing removal spell. Not a lot of artifacts in the metagame right now, to be honest. Like
there's Chariot, there's the Celestis, and some of the Epiphany decks.
Chariot's enough. I don't know. I don't know how I just already forgot about Chariot. Those were the only decks I was beating this weekend, to be fair and Standard. But so being able to kill a Braid or just take down some creatures. I think Braid's just going to be amazing in Standard, going to be a very versatile threat. We got some Sorins here as another threat that you can kind of go, like, it triggers Sedgemoor Witch, right? Sedgemoor Witch is non-creature?
No, that one's Instant or Sorcery.
Okay, so that's a little bit of a non-buff. I was going to say that's kind of a nice little curve out.
Pretty sure it's Instant or Sorcery.
Yeah, I'm not 100% either, but we get the other land for Grixis.
Yeah, because it's Magecraft. It's cast or copy.
That's right.
Instead of getting the bonus off for non-instant sorceries, you got the bonus for copying.
That's true. Then we get the other fashionably late land, which is pretty nice, being able to kind of complete the Grixis colors. And then Dread Fuge. Pretty nice. Just, it's not quite Inquisition. Not being able to hit 3 drops is a big deal. So I'm pretty skeptic of this card, and 3 mana to take a card is a lot. It is. Check for Traps is already kind of unplayable for 2 mana. So we'll see. We'll see on this card. I'm very optimistic, but not gonna, go buy my 4 copies right away or anything.
I'm higher on it than you are. I think you're gonna find so often that you're casting on turn 1 and you're happy to just take a 2-drop out of their hand, get that information, and then by the time you're drawing it later in the game, when the first mode wouldn't be good, you have enough mana to be able to spend 3.
Yeah.
And the problem with it, the problem with just printing a 3 mana, take any card from their hand, which has been printed, it's called Coercion. Problem with that card is you can't cast on turns 1 and 2. So the fact that you get both, even though neither side looks really impressive, the combination of them works really well because one is really good when you have it in your opening hand. The other one is versatile enough that when you draw it late, you're happy to spend the extra minute to be able to take any card that you want.
Yeah, okay. I like that aspect of it for sure.
Yeah, so it's one of those, we can think of it as kicker. You can also think of it of Cleave as being kind of split cards.
Yep.
And whenever I have a split card or a modal card, anything like that, I like it when the two modes or two halves of it cover each other's weaknesses.
Yeah.
If one half is good when the other is bad and vice versa, then you have a good card because then you're always going to get the high end of it.
Yeah.
Or you're always going to get an effective card.
Yeah, no, it's reasonable and very good with the egg and very good. Actually, really cool with egg. Being able to pay 3 when you want to flip it and stuff, that's cool. Yeah.
On my side, I am playing a Jund mid-range deck, basic Golgari, but splashing red, enabled by the completion of the cycle of dual lands. This list comes courtesy of Brennan DeCandio, my former Team BCW teammate. And Team Open teammate.
There we go.
As soon as he saw Dig Up, he got the Brewing cap on. So this is his.
Brennan DeCandio playing a Golgari deck is really out of his comfort zone, though. So yeah.
Yeah. So we've got a couple cool tutor targets for Dig Up in the late game. I can find my one Tibble and set up find Valky and set up Tibble. I can get an Orcus if I need to sweep the battlefield. Also have Meat Hook Massacre, a lot of good removal. There's plenty of options. I have a Braid in this deck as well.
Okay.
But also a lot of Graveyard Hate. There's the new Cemetery Prowler, which I think
this card's insane, by the way. Yeah.
I like it in a deck like this because it plays offense and defense.
Yep.
And pure mid-range decks really need that out of their creatures.
Yes.
And I'm also playing Graveyard Trespasser. So I've got both my 3 drops are going to hit your graveyard and hit it hard.
Yeah.
Hopefully that comes up. I've also got some Sorens.
It's going to be weird to have to keep it separate, like which cards are exiled with that. If there's like another exile effect. Well, you're playing one.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I've got some oddities in the sideboard. Should be not great in this matchup. I think it's more for control matchups. We need a little bit more pressure.
Yeah.
You're trying to bring out removal, become more threat dense, but it's a fine card to have there. Yeah. And some Dread Fugues in the sideboard. I would honestly prefer to see these in the main deck.
Okay.
But we'll see how they play in the sideboard as well.
Well, if you lose the match, now you get to blame Brennan. So that's all. That's extra equity.
That's the only reason I asked for your list.
Yes. Makes sense. All right. Well, I'm going to be going first on this one. Rob, you got a question for us before we get this started?
Yeah, we've had a question about one of the new cards that has been previewed. I don't know if you've seen Blood Vial Purveyor. Is 2 black for a 5/6 creature vampire.
Okay.
Flying trample. When an opponent casts a spell, that player creates a blood token. And then whenever Blood Vial Purveyor attacks, it gets +1/+0 for each blood token defending player controls. And there's a slight errata on this in that it should say until end of turn for the power bonus, but it doesn't say that on the card. So
okay. That card seems insane. Giving them blood tokens is not that big of a deal. Like if you're putting a 5/6 into play, giving them a blood token, they don't exactly have time to do anything about that. I think this card is good.
I think this card is going to play a very specific role.
Really?
I think it's a sideboard card in other aggro matchups where they don't have a lot of good removal for it, and it's just so big it dominates the battlefield.
Yeah.
Paying 4 mana for a card that's just going to get like bounced by Divide by 0, bounced by Fading Hope, killed with any manner of black, removal. Yeah. There's plenty of ways to answer it out of control decks, and it doesn't generate a lot of value, and giving them blood tokens is honestly not great. So I don't like it against control, but I like it.
Seems great against mono green.
Yes.
Yeah, like think about that. Blizzard Brawl, like all your 4/4s trying to kill 5/6s, like.
Yeah, you basically need to have the 1/1 Death Toucher. I think it's going to be a card that is specifically meant for aggro matchups. Maybe it's efficient enough that you're willing to play some main. I could see that, but it's going to be an all-star in aggro mirrors and not so good against control.
I think it still might be good against control because I agree with you. Divide by 0, Fading Hope, that gets it, but that's it. Thunder and Rebukes, all that doesn't actually hit it. And that's not giving you a lot of time.
Yeah.
I could see it.
And it, even if it gets bounced a little bit, it hits so hard.
Yeah.
That, that first hit is going to feel like it attacked you twice.
And like the Izzet decks usually don't have the free mana. If they have the free mana, you're dead. They're all rinsing you. But to just be rummaging, if the blood tokens, you didn't have to actually pay mana to do it. I think that card's good. I could even see a mono black aggro deck coming out. There's enough tools that are kind of doing that. Mono black snow, maybe not in the blood on the snow version. So I like that one. I'm gonna try that.
it's important. The fact that it survives basically all the red removal. You know, there's a new 3 mana 5 damage spell, so it survives that one too. It's 6 toughness. So
Play with Fire's back.
It's not play.
Or not play with fire. What's the 3 mana deal 5, but you could like pay 8 and it like I don't know kills your opponent in some way.
There's a new 3 mana deal 5, so it survives all the red removal. But if this card starts seeing a bunch of main deck play, like, they'll just splash and play black removal and kill it.
Yeah,
right?
or just divide by 0. It turns out to be enough. That's a possibility too. You know, but
forfeiting hope for divide and Lear could also be enough. So the fact that it's already great, I think in almost every aggro matchup because it's just gigantic. Is going to be really helpful. And you know, like mono white can brutal Cathara, but you're a black deck, you should be able to kill a 2/2. And Skyclave Apparition, I guess, quite good against it.
Yeah, that card does not see him play now, but I mean, honestly, there's a lot of good aggro tools. Skyclave could come back. You know, in my small evaluation of the set so far.
But in a metagame where there's just a lot of red removal, it's definitely a main deckable card.
Cool. Yeah, great questions, everybody. Keep them up. We are going to get started. I will go first here since I lost. And this isn't an amazing hand, but I think it's good enough on the play. I'd mulligan on the draw, though.
I will keep mine.
Okay, so once again, we are a pathway, fashionably late mana base. So another test here of just testing how good these lands are. And this is another hand that goes one of these into pathway, into another one of these. And I just love that setup now.
Okay. I will lead on a slow land as well. Deathcap played.
Okay, I got a pathway and I'll pass to you.
Well, that makes it easy. I'll play this Lair of the Hydra and pass the turn.
Okay. All right, well, our draws have not been kind to us, I must say, but I'll play another one of these and I'll pass to you.
Let's play a Dark Boar Pathway.
Okay.
And a Cemetery Prowler that I'm sure is not long for this world.
Yeah, well, we'll do some mathematics towards it. Now, this version, we don't have the teachings. How many cards do you have in your hand?
7.
Yeah, it would have been nice to get teachings here, but Zach and the team went with Introduction to Prophecy. It's okay, but I do like teachings a little bit better. Now, it's either I just loot or I get this card. I think I want to just loot, actually. I have some extra land, so I'm just going to discard and draw.
Okay.
Oh, draw. Okay. I will play this land and I'll pass to you.
Okay, there's a mountain, and I'll play an Azeka's Chariot.
Okay. Yep, that resolves.
Oh, that's nice. I'll get some cats. You're up.
Okay.
Remember the first time I played this during Call Time preview season, and you were just obliterated it?
It obliterated me every time you played it, and I'm like, this card seems good, and then it was just 3 mana 5/5s bricked it, but it makes sense why that card took over after it. You know, like we saw it. We truly saw it. Okay. I guess I will consider my options. This card I do not think is going to be good enough right now.
Graveyard.
Yep, graveyard, draw. I will Expressive Iteration.
Sure.
Put this into my hand, this over here, this here. This is what I wanted to draw earlier. I kept a land-heavy hand and just drew all lands, but now at least we're getting it. And guess I'll keep this one. And I'll play land and pass to you. I'm scared.
As you should be. I don't have a great turn, to be honest.
Oh, that's good.
I will play Forest.
Okay.
Kind of want to play this turn too. I'm definitely playing the Cemetery Prowler.
Okay.
I'm just thinking if I want to double spell with it or save this card. Still at 20.
I got a nice life total still.
Yeah. Let's play Cemetery Prowler.
When it attacks it. Oh no, you get to pick a card too, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna exile the Divide by 0.
Okay.
It's the unique spell in the graveyard. Like if Corey gets a Lear, he's gonna have a bunch of card selection. I might as well take the more unique card.
Yeah, now you can play 3 mana spells, right?
So they have to share a type with the exiled card. So my instants now cost 1 less.
Okay, gotcha.
I guess maybe I should just be exiling cards that match things in my hand
Yeah.
to make
Just
those
creatures
cheaper.
and stuff, right?
Well, currently I don't have any creatures.
Okay.
But I do have some sorceries. Maybe I'm supposed to exile the iteration.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
bad.
let's try that. Let's see if I can get some value here. Let's exile the iteration.
Let's test it out.
Then I'll crew Chariot with Prowler and Cat. Attack for 6. Copy Cat.
Oh, I'll go to 14. You're such a copycat.
You're at 14. I'll pass the turn.
Okay. All right. Well, not the best of turns, but I think we kind of have one option here, and that is to play Sedgemoor Witch and pass to you.
Sedgemoor Witch, no other.
I should have other spells with that, I feel. I think I screwed that up.
Well, if I'd known I was drawing this, I might have exiled a different card, but that's fine. I will Abrade the Witch, paying 3 life.
Okay.
Puts me to 17.
I will... I don't know, cry, I guess. I am going to divide by 0. I think I probably do Chariot. I know you probably have a land, so maybe that doesn't make it great, but if I like... It's one of these two. If I pick this, then you crew. That's also not good. One nets you a little bit more. I'm going to go with the Chariot. I think I honestly just have to like hope you don't have a land. Like that's how behind I am right now. So I'll get a pest. I'm going to learn Mascot. And yeah, this is dead.
Okay, well, I will attack with all of my creatures and exile a divide by 0, I guess.
Okay, I will block and
So you
take 5.
5 overall, brings you to 9.
Yep.
What side do I want this pathway on? Guess black makes the most sense.
Okay.
Replay Chariot, get 2 more cats,
Okay.
and pass the turn.
I'm dead. I'm so dead.
My cat army is steadily growing.
Yeah. Don't think I really have a choice here. Even if I play the 3, you're going to be able to kill at least 1. Block 2, take 6. Yeah, I'll probably survive, maybe. So, yeah, Mascot, and then I'll pass to you. Can't imagine that I'm going to win this game, but I just missed too many early plays. I kept Lear, divide by 0, 5 land on the play, and I drew a lot of lands in a row.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Yeah, that's true.
So you're at 9. Is
Yep.
there a way I can kill you this turn?
Probably.
That's awkward. I'll put you to... Yeah, that leaves me 1 short.
Okay.
Could do that.
Well, I wonder if I like bounces and it comes back. I think you still just get triggers off this. You know, like.
Nah, because it says exiled with Cemetery Prowler, so it's a different game object when it comes back.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I would have to like exile it with a counter and say you can cost 1 less for each thing exiled with a counter on it.
Okay.
Like how Draugr Necromancer works,
Yep.
puts the snow counter on things.
Yep. Okay. That makes sense.
That's how they would template it if they wanted it to work like that.
Makes sense.
Oh, what if I 3-1? I'm just trying to kill you,
Yeah, I don't blame you.
and I don't think I
It's
can.
either I'm gonna die next turn or you can kill me now. I feel so.
Yeah. So I can do that into that, and
Clock. How many slow play warnings did you get this weekend?
none.
Oh wow.
Actually, I think I figured it out.
Okay.
2, 3. Yeah, this is a cool line.
Okay.
Check this out. Right? Does this work? Oh no, I'm 1 mana short. No, am I? Yes, I still am.
Ah.
It's gonna be cool. was going to be super cool.
You're gonna kill me anyways. Just go.
To that. Yeah, that's still. I just want to kill you this turn with a really cool Meat Hook Massacre, okay? Is that too much to ask?
That is too much to ask. Yes. Yeah, Meat Hook's another card. I'm surprised we didn't see it all. All right, I can.
Oh no, that's fine. I do it.
I concede. I've conceded.
You don't get to concede.
Made me wait too long.
Oh no, I do have it.
I was gonna say,
Hold on.
Bren's yelling at you that
Yeah. I'll take 3. I go to 14.
Okay.
Check this out. I will Blood Chief's Thirst the 4/4.
Okay.
I will pay 2 green and activate the Hydra for 1.
Okay.
I will play Meat Hook Massacre for 2, trigger on the stack Crew Chariot. Then I'll have 6 creatures die, your other 2 blockers will die, you'll go to 3, and I'll attack for 2 with Chariot and 1 with Prowler.
Okay.
Nice.
Sweet. Brendan would have found that faster, I'm just saying, you know.
he definitely did.
All right,
Yeah.
all right.
I just miscounted my lands.
Okay, fair enough. No, that was cool. That was cool. All right, Rob, you got any questions while we shuffle up for our second game?
Yes. Give me just a second to look at the text on the card again.
Okay,
I can
okay.
I read it correctly. Okay, so this is a 1 red green. Gee, okay, I can't even read it. Apparently. 1 blue red. Let me get that correct.
Okay.
Wandering Mind, creature horror 2/1. Flying. When Wandering Mind enters the battlefield, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal a non-creature, non-land card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So what do you think about this one?
Seems great.
So it's a 2/1 flyer that draws a spell?
Two flyer, right?
2/1.
Oh, it is a 2/1. Oh, okay, that makes it worse, but yeah, just 3 mana, 2/1 flyer. You get to get a creature. I don't know what. I don't see the true
It's
application.
it's non-creature, non-land that it finds, right? So
Non-creature, non-land.
yes.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
top
okay.
6, you find non-creature, non-land. Okay, so that means you're gonna want.
Yeah, I don't love those kind of cards when they're pulling at different ends. When it is indeed a creature and it gets non-creatures, those cards always end up being pretty bad just because it's so hard to spread out your deck in that way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I if it put a creature in, I thought it was going to be good, but yeah, I don't think that'll be.
And I still think it's a good card. I think it's doable to have 15 spells in your deck or whatever. I just don't know where it fits.
Teamer deck that gets Chariot.
Yeah.
That's kind of gas.
Chariot or Wrenn. Because
Yeah.
it finds planeswalkers.
Yeah.
Because
that's the thing is you want to find creatures that are non-creatures, right? Like that's where you want that card. That's the sweet spot.
Yeah.
So if you have Wrenn, if you have Chariot, especially Chariot, being able to curve that into Chariot, and if you don't even have it, you can find it. I've always been really interested in teamer decks anyways. And think about it, it can be an Alrun's deck too. You could search for Alrun's, and just be like your only creatures maybe can just be that Goldspan Dragon, Azeka's Chariot, Wrenn. I guess that's pretty clunky, but I like it in a teamer shell.
I could also see it in sort of an Is It Spells shell with Chandra, because it's a red card that you
Chandra's 4 mana, or Chandra's 3.
Chandra's
right?
3.
Yeah,
but it's you can dig for your Chandra, which is really good.
Yeah.
In that kind of deck, because Chandra needs to hit red cards.
Yeah.
You want to have a lot of gold cards. It's a good gold card to hit. Mm-hmm. And obviously those decks just want to have threats and draw a lot of spells. So if it's there. Yeah, I do think this card is good. It requires very specific homes. This is not a plug and play kind of card.
Yeah.
But in the homes, it's good, and it's really good.
Yeah, I dibs the teamer deck. I'm going to try that one. All right.
Is it legendary?
Okay, it dies to Spikefield, which is a little lame, but can also find you some removal of some kinds. I don't know what the early game of this deck is truly going to be. That's the hardest part, you know?
What happens when you build your Pioneer Yorion deck with this card and Omen of the Seas
and fires?
Yeah, digs for fires.
Oh baby, give me something that searches for fires in my Yorion deck, please.
Dig 6 deep. Let's go.
I like that card a lot. I'm excited to try that one out.
Yeah, I think that's a good one.
Okay, I'll play first. Give me the goods. Yeah, good enough. The mana base is slightly awkward on this. This is one deck that I actually think this many fashionably late lands is kind of awkward. There's a lot of 1-drops, so this is as close as it gets, even though it's not an aggro deck, to these lands actually affecting you in a really negative way,
Yeah.
So this maybe isn't supposed to be all of these fashionably late lands in here. Maybe this is where you're supposed to cut a little bit. We're going to find out. We're going to have to find this. We're going to have to massage the numbers for these style of decks.
It's going to be a lot of number massaging in this
A lot of
standard
number
environment.
massaging, that's for sure.
Well, I've got to massage my numbers because I only had one land. in that
Okay,
hand. I kind of
okay.
need more than that.
I think you do. You're
My
right.
deck doesn't have a lot of 1-drops.
Yes, or any.
I got Bloodchief Thirst.
Okay, that's fair. Very
I have a
relevant
question about
against
another
me.
card, which is a possible new Lightning Helix. Well, similar effect.
I'm
It's called
interested.
Parasitic Grasp.
It's
an
called
instant-
Lightning Helix.
It's an instant for 1 and a black.
Okay.
Parasitic Grasp deals 3 damage to target human creature. You gain 3 life. It has Cleave for 1 black, and you just remove the human. So it's 3 damage to target creature. You gain 3 life.
Wait, repeat that one more time.
So it's either 1 black, Lightning Helix for just creatures.
No, just a human creature.
Well, I'm talking. It's 1 black for any creature, and one
Yes.
one and a black to do it to just humans for a Lightning Helix.
How many creatures in the burn deck are humans? Like all of them?
In
Modern?
Eidolon is a spirit, and
Okay.
Goblin Guide is a goblin, so just Monastery Swift Spirit.
Oh, okay. I was like, is that my Death Shadow card that I've been longing for? Maybe.
You'd be thinking more in prowess when they have Soulscar Mage is also a human.
Yeah.
Wizard.
Yeah. I was like, God, if they made my Death Shadow deck better after only losing a game, like, come on. Give me the trophy for Vegas already. Just mail it to me.
But that seems like a pretty solid sideboard card to me. There's
Yeah.
a lot of humans in a lot of the aggressive decks. I'd have to really look and see all of them.
Does it spread the damage for 3 or it's just
No,
3? Okay.
It's just a Lightning Helix for creatures.
Seems great in this deck up against like mono white. Like that seems like the card against mono white, Yeah, no, that's a good one. I like that.
I've got another 1-lander here.
Okay, good.
Brennan, what are you doing to me? Put more lands in your decks. It's not a bad 1-lander.
Okay.
It has some good cards.
Going for it?
Yeah, I'm gonna try it. And these mid-range
that.
mirrors, like mulliganing
Fast,
a ton, is a death sentence.
That's true, especially when, I have Thoughtseize effects.
I'll play Death Cap Glade.
Okay, I will start with a Consider. That does allow me to cast one more thing. I guess, yeah, I don't mind that. So I'm going to keep that, and then I will Dread Fugue you. Is it Fugue or Fuge?
It's Fugue.
Fugue? Okay, Dread Fugue.
It's a type of
First card I've ever screwed up.
It's a type of musical piece.
Okay,
Bach
okay.
was famous for writing them.
So I can't take those. I really don't want you to Velky me. I guess I don't mind that much. Yeah, let's take the Abrade, and then I'll pass to you.
Sounds like somebody has a Sedgemoor Witch.
What? And brick.
You're up.
Yay! All right. And here was some of the awkwardness with these lands. I had all come into play fashionably late lands, so pass to you.
You're up.
All right, we like this. This might be the first game I won, though, right? So that's not great.
You won game 2 of match 1.
Oh, okay. Good. All right, I'm going to consider my options. I'm going to get a pest. Ooh. I like that. Do I? I think I just want more spells. I'm going to get rid of this egg.
And when I'm holding a Bloodchief's Thirst that you know about, it's probably not the best.
Probably not the best egg, yeah. Okay, I'll attack for 3.
17.
Pass to you. You having fun? You dropped a card there, bud. Probably should put it into your graveyard zone. In case you were wondering, your graveyard zone is located right here.
I'll discard a Cemetery Prowler.
Okay, perfect. I don't have anything I can play if you don't play anything, so that's not great. All right, well, I'll attack for 4.
13.
Pass to you.
Discard Renin 7.
I will. Okay, I will attack, and then I'm going to double Blood Chief's Thirst my Sedgemoor Witch. Just to get counters, and then divide whatever you play.
No, you can't do that.
You can't do that? Oh, you can Fatal Push. That's right.
Fatal Push says destroy if.
That's right.
That's the way they had to template it with Revolt.
Okay, that's fair. All right, well, that was a very skill-intensive game. I just think the better player won that one. You know, it was just really an outplaying thing there.
The one decision you made backfired. I drew an Abrade immediately after you took it.
Dang it. Dang it. You're right. I even misplayed that.
It was going to look great if I drew the red source and you just placed that. My 2 draws were red source Abrade.
Yeah. That would have been really annoying because my hand was bad after that. So, all right, everyone, that's going to do it for our first 2 pre-boarded games. We're going to head to the sideboard here and see what we got for each other. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with sideboarding.
Welcome back to a Versus Live, where we are sideboarding in our matchup between Jund midrange and Grixis midrange. On my side of things,
God, we're going to be saying the word midrange a lot this previous season, and I'm here for it.
On my side of things, really just swapping around some of my disruption. I think Duress is the better discard spell in this matchup relative to Dread Fugue.
But you're just keeping in all of them?
The Fugues aren't in the main.
Oh, okay, that's right. Yep,
They're both in the sideboard.
Gotcha.
And Power Word Kill, I think, is an upgrade to Abrade in the matchup, seeing as the only thing that Power Word Kill doesn't hit is Smoldering Egg, and Abrade doesn't hit that either. And Meat Hook Massacre, not great. I'm leaving in the 1 Orcus, seeing as it's already a threat if I naturally draw it, and it's a nice tutor target in case you end up making a board full of pest tokens that I need to deal with. So I still have 1 Sweeper, and I have 4 Dig Up that can tutor for it. Trimming 1 Binding the Old Gods, because I don't want that much removal against you. You're not a super threat dense deck. Still have 7 or 8 removal spells in the deck and the 4 Dig Ups, so that should be plenty.
This is really a combination of you and Brennan talking about this deck. Binding of the Old Dogs, you know? You guys are both old school players, you know, you both play your mid-range. I guess you don't play too much mid-range nonsense, but
I also think Brennan is younger than you.
Yeah, but we're still all in the older class, you know? I saw some youngsters running around there, you know, like we even had the King Zoomer Milan over there showing us how it's done, just taking 9th, you know? That's that kid's going to be awesome.
I've got some Ulvenwald oddities in the sideboard that I'm thinking about bringing in just to increase my threat density, but all of your threats are really must kills. I see that you're bringing out Egg. If I knew that you were doing that, I think I would probably trim some of my Blood Chief's thirsts and bring in these oddities. But you still have the Hermits there. You're bringing in 4 more creatures, so you need to have a good amount of removal. Maybe Oddity is better than some of the 3s, but I have a good number of 4s with Sorin and Chariot and Binding, so I'm just going to leave it as is.
Yep, so I'm taking out Egg because, you know, like on the draw, you have 1 mana answer to it, so it's really tough for it to actually get carried away. Maybe on the play I'd bring it in, but going to take it out for that. Taking out 3 Blood Chief's Thirst, you know, not that great against your creatures, like they're 3 mana ones. For 1 mana, I can't really effectively deal with too much, so taking that on a draw, bringing in Malevolent Hermit, pretty good against Azeka's Chariot, Binding the Old God, stuff like that. Gonna try Overcharged Amalgam. This could be really good with Witch, being able to sack a token and just counter, I can just counter like a Chariot and stuff too, right? Oh, wait, target spell? Yeah. Target spells, activate ability, trigger ability.
It's disallow.
Yeah, okay.
Trigger is just disallow.
That's right, yeah, I was like, okay, Chariot is still a spell.
Yeah.
And then bringing in 2 Soul Shatters, I think that's better against like Ren and Chariot and stuff like that. So
you can even counter a crew. If I like resolve a Chariot and then you have it and I go to a crew and you just need to buy time, you just counter the crew.
Yeah, disallow effects. I think Paulo wrote an article about this, and I haven't been able to read it yet, but I really want to check that out because it seems like a card that could be really good. It's just, you know, it's going to be something that has to somewhat be a build around, and what kind of blue deck creates a lot of tokens and stuff. Sedgemoor Witch being the number 1 thing I can think of.
Poppet Stitcher could be another one.
Yeah.
So you don't necessarily have to be black if you don't want to.
Yeah. Yeah, that could be as
Worse
well.
card than Sedgemoor Witch, but
yeah, could also just be a nice pair with Chariot. Like those are your 2 4-drops. That's kind of cute. You know, you get Ranger class, stuff like that. But I don't know. You're still sacrificing things that are decent, which I don't love with that, you know, so we'll see. All right, Rob, you got any questions while we shuffle up for our 3rd and final game of this round?
So one of the reprints from this set is we are getting Heroes Downfall again.
I saw that, and it's been downgraded, huh?
Yeah, down to an uncommon. So how do you think that'll fare in this format? Do you think that's some removal spell you'd be looking to in black?
It's a really good question. I don't know. I don't know how to evaluate. Of course, Hero's Downfall has been good, but Hero's Downfall was really good at a time when Planeswalkers were good. Planeswalkers are not that good right now.
Yeah.
And the Planeswalkers that are good are like Ren, that have an immediate impact as far as putting a creature in. It's not like Vivian, where you were ticking up, and getting a card, the 5-mana Vivian. Stuff like that, Hero's Downfall was insane because, they got a card in their hand, but they didn't affect the battlefield. But
I am going to predict that this card will be very overrated early on.
Yep.
I do not it was a staple card, premier removal spell in the Theros era. 4 of in mono black, and saw play in different control decks and other things, but I do not think it is going to be near that level in this standard environment. I think it's going to be a great 1 to 2 of to round out your removal suite, give you that really versatile card so to make sure that you can deal with any kind of threat. But at 3 mana, it's just hard to play 3 mana removal spells.
Especially when Thalia's coming to play.
Yep. Yeah. So
3 mana, that being said, Divide by Zero is one of the best removal spells.
But it generates card event.
It generates card event. It's
Yeah.
a different thing. Just 1-for-1 answers has not been what Standard has been about since Throne of Eldraine. Now, maybe we're reverting back because the power level is decreasing a lot, but is it decreasing in time for this? Like, Chariot's still a card, Epiphany's still a card that fits the Throne mold a little bit. That makes removal bad. Both of them do it,
Yep.
So, maybe.
Yeah, I'm not high.
I'm on the
Hero's
overrated
Downfall.
train a little bit too.
It's going to be really overrated early on because people remember how good it was in the past. It's not going to be that.
Yeah.
It's going to be more like what was the 3 mana deal 5 damage red spell that we couldn't figure out earlier? Searing something.
Yeah.
It's going to be kind of like that card where people play it because they desperately need a card that killed Lovestruck Beast, and they were willing to pay 3 mana to do it. And Hero's Downfall is going to be that 3 mana card. It's like, okay, I begrudgingly put this in my deck because it's a card I can't deal with otherwise.
Yeah, but if there's cards like that 4-mana Demon that I think could be good, if that's a card, maybe something like that has to be around. So
Soul Seer is the
Soul Seer, yeah.
Soul Seer, yeah. How's your hand?
It's another 1-lander.
My hand is dreadful, and it's a 1-lander as well, so...
I keep double checking to make sure I'm not missing that I might have dig up in these hands. So it's technically 2-lander, but it's always Cemetery Prowler.
Yeah, no, I actually paid Brennan to cut a bunch of lands before he sent you this list. So yeah, man, I'll just check your Venmo after this, bud. As long as I win here. So
at least you're mulliganing this time too.
Yeah, no, my hand was awful. Even if I had a second land, I don't think I could have kept that one. But maybe. All right, but maybe.
There's always hope for Corey to keep any hand.
Oh yeah. Hey, you'll be proud. I only lost 1 game at the NV due to a Corey keep, but it was a pretty big game. I think I was X-2, like 8-2 or something, up against a mono white deck. Kept a no red one on the draw, but my hand was great if I drew it. I did not. But that was the only real bad Corey keep.
And now I have the 2-lander, 4 black cards, no black mana.
Ooh, excellent. Well, I wanted the marbles to be alive, so thanks for punting this one.
I think I'm just gonna put the double black card back and try to draw a black source.
Okay.
Because then this hand is good.
I think I'm gonna keep, and I think the Sorin's a little too slow on the draw, so I'm gonna get rid of that.
Play Rockfall Veil.
Okay. That was interesting. I will play this and pass to you.
Play Timber Crown Pathway.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
All right. Interesting draw there. Probably still just want to play this. Spikefield Hazard does not seem like it's particularly good, so I'll put this on the flip side and pass to you. Heart of the cards.
Go.
I love Magic some days, Rob. Some days. All right. I do not want this. Draw. Untap. Draw. Yeah, I probably just want to lead with that. Guess you could have... Now, that could play right into a braid, so I guess I don't really want to do that. How about I start with... All right, let's... I'm going to cleave this. I'm going to take any of your cards.
I've got a pretty good hand against this.
Yeah.
I've got 2 Graveyard Trespassers.
Okay.
2 Azeka's Chariots.
Oh, God.
A card that you're never going to want to take in a million years. And a dress.
Okay, well, Chariot obviously is the scariest card, but I don't think that one matters that much. I think I am just going to take this. Definitely not Duress. Your black mana is going to be taxed even if you find it. So pass to you.
Go.
Yay! Oh, that was a good one. All right, let's see how this Sorin card does. I guess I will make a flyer. If you do, you lose life equal. So I don't get lands, right?
You can.
You may reveal that card and lose life. So
It's just Dark Confidant, but you get the option of whether or not you want to do it. So it's not just a liability.
And it makes a life linker? Oh, baby. What are we using for these?
We're just using regular Tom Ross vampires.
Tom Ross vampires. The boss is back,
These
baby.
are 2/3 life linkers.
Okay, pass to you.
Go.
I'm going to look. I'll pay 3. I got some extra life.
It's 17.
I'll go to 19.
18, 19.
Oh, man. Okay. I'll play Lear and I'll pass to you.
Little late.
Wow, you're lucky. Getting your colored mana right on time.
A little late.
Yeah, I mean, you can trespass away one of the spells I could cast.
That's what I'm doing.
Which one you want?
I will take the consider.
Okay. Done.
Will I actually? No, I'll take. Yeah, I'll take the consider.
Okay.
Yeah, you're up.
All right. So I think I want to just put pressure on now. So let's start with Expressive Iteration. By the way, there was 3 of us in the top 8 that were in the 8 iteration crew. Awesome. This is definitely the card of the weekend for me. It was so good. I'll play this. I'll put this to my hand. Put this here. I will... Oops. I think I need the other land. No, that's blue-red as well. Then let's go with a soul shatter for you. Let's shatter your soul. Too bad it's already shattered today. Attack for 5.
I go to 13, you go to 21.
Yep, and a vampire here. Pass to you. Upkeep. I'll consider. I'll draw this. Your turn.
Play Darkboar Pathway.
Chariot o'clock.
I think so.
Okay, makes sense.
Get some
Catalog
cats.
awaits. All right. I'll draw. I'll tick up. I'll pay 4.
You go to 17.
Yeah. Okay, I'll play this land. No red cards. I don't need red mana. Sedgemoor Witch. Then I will... Can't actually attack with my Lear, but that's okay. I'll attack for 4.
9 to 21.
9 to 21. And, yeah, I'll pass to you.
I'm dead.
Okay. You just wanted us to play for the marbles, right?
No.
No,
I
you
did
did not. Yeah, my draw was actually good. It would have been nice to see, a fighting chance against you, because I still think your deck looks sweet, but it's definitely a deck that can't miss land drops. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, my 6 was like 2/3 drops, a chariot.
I would have kept.
Yeah,
I had to snap that off.
Had the duress, and I might have had this. I can't remember exactly, but I had 2 and like these 2.
Yeah, I would have snapped that off for sure. It wouldn't even been close.
I put Sorin on the bottom as a double black card.
Yep. Well, we can blame Brennan. He didn't put enough lands in that deck.
I didn't draw. I thought that my mana base would be good because of dig up. I just never drew one in 3 games.
Yeah. Probably needed that one.
Didn't get to see that happen.
I think Brennan would have drew more lands than you though too. So well, I think we should fly him out here, get him into the show.
I probably would have put more lands in my deck, but that's just me.
All right, Rob. Any questions from you before we head to our final round?
No, not before we get there.
Perfect. We're going to take a short 5-minute break, y'all, and we'll be playing for the marbles, the most important trophy that exists in Roanoke.
It's the pinnacle of competitive Magic.
That's it. This, second best.
Yeah.
First best. Yeah. That's third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh best there over there. So, all right, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back with more Magic here. Don't go anywhere.
Hello, I'm Ross Merriam, and welcome to Versus Live.
I'm Corey Baumeister.
And we've got Rob in the booth. Say what's up, Rob.
What's up, Rob?
Rob will be taking all of your questions, comments, concerns, and burns in the chat. Make sure to tag at Star City Games so he can see them and send his favorites over to us. We are continuing to look into Innistrad Crimson Vow with the first set of cards coming over the weekend previewed for that set. So far, so good. Cards looking cool, doing some cool stuff, and we are finishing with two of my favorite decks of the day, because this deck that I'm going to be playing to round out the day is going to be one that is in my article that is up now, all about Chandra Dressed to Kill. Both of our decks are going to be featuring that powerful Planeswalker.
Shoot to thrill?
Yeah.
Dressed to kill! Shoot to thrill! That's what I think every time I read that card. It's just,
something fire at will.
Yeah, isn't it a Led Zeppelin song?
Oh my God.
I don't know.
It's not a Led Zeppelin song.
That hurt me.
That hurt you? That hurt you deep? What is it? I forget.
AC/DC.
Yeah.
AC/DC. Okay.
They aren't the same.
Okay. Same genre. Same generation.
Yeah, generation, sure.
There we go. There we go.
One's like 10 years newer than the other. Like AC/DC came up late 70s, was popular into the 80s. Led Zeppelin's really the band of the 70s.
Okay.
Their first album was released in 69. John Bonham dies in 1980, and they dissolved the band.
Fair. Okay. Well, whatever. I got it wrong. AC/DC. It reminds me of AC/DC from now on.
But Chandra Dressed to Kill, I think,
the C in AC/DC actually stands for Chandra. That's an actual fact. I know that.
Yes.
You can fact check that one. Yeah.
but
I win trivia very often on Wednesdays, so, you got to trust me. So.
But I think it's one of the better cards previewed thus far. To me, the bar for 3-mana Planeswalkers is just so much lower than 4 and 5.
Yeah.
And this one, with two different versatile, +1 abilities, adding that mana, being able to play with fire or frostbite or Spikefield Hazard a creature and keep your opponent's battlefield small, make sure the Chandra survives.
Are you snow as well?
This list is not snow. There are several lists in my article that are. This one, because I wanted to play as many double-faced cards as possible. I have 4 Spikefield, 4 Shatterskull Smashing. I decided not to go snow.
Because that's the best thing for me, is to just go Snow Mountain, this, tick up, Lightning Bolt, whatever the Lightning Bolt is called again.
Frostbite.
Yeah, that's what sounds the best to me, but otherwise, I think this card is awesome if it was templated like Sorin, the +1 that you can just play it if it's lands too, you know? That's the only thing that's holding me back a little bit from this, but yeah.
Well, this deck has 40 hits, so you're drawing 2/3 of a card every time you activate it.
Yeah.
Assuming that you can cast all of them. Obviously, there's going to be certain situations where you're not quite that high on it. But I honestly think that second ability is what draws you in, because you just think about a Planeswalker. That's what they do. They draw an extra card every turn and bury your opponent. But having that alongside a mana ability, so I can empty my hand really quickly, get really far ahead of my opponent, because you get those turn 3 double spell turns. You ramp into 5-drops. You double spell on. Maybe instead of playing a 5-drop, you play a 2 and a 3. So now your hand is really empty very quickly. You're very far ahead, but you just don't have the gas to finish them off. That's where that second ability comes in, or potentially even the ultimate. So I like the way those 2 +1 abilities play with each other. One helps you just empty your hand quickly, and then the other one refuels you after. So there's a natural sequencing to how you use Chandra. And then I'm trying out a bunch of the other, good red cards that have been previewed thus far. I think Kessig Wolfrider is being slept on a little bit.
Yeah.
As people look at a 1-power 1-drop and they're not really excited because they want to get really aggressive really quickly. But that second point of toughness is really valuable in a world where a Thalia exists, because everyone's going to want to play Spikefield Hazard to kill Thalias. And so I want my 1-drop to have 2 toughness. I'm actually playing Wolfrider over Falconwrath Pitfighter in this deck.
Yeah.
Only 4 1-drops. I have a good number of spells. You're drawing extra cards. That ability is going to come up in the late game. So now I've got a 1-drop that is relevant later on and doesn't die to what I think is going to be a really commonly played removal spell early. Got Manaform Hellkite. I think it's a little bit better than Moonveil Regent here, just because I want that extra pressure, and Moonveil Regent isn't that impressive in a monocolored deck.
Yep.
And I think the most surprising choice, I'm playing Volatile Arsonist over Goldspan Dragon
Okay.
as my 5-drop to ramp into with Chandra.
Yep.
This card, on the backside is incredible.
Yeah.
Because instead of pinging 1 to all those 3 things, you get when it attacks you shock them all.
Wow.
So it's a 5/5 haste that shocks a creature, a planeswalker, and a player. That's just a lot of pressure.
Yeah. And I mean, if you can, do you have much Daybound, Nightbound besides that, or
just the 3-drop Reckless Stormseeker?
Okay.
And then the other thing I really like with Chandra is Bloodthirsty Adversary. It gives you another 5-drop to ramp into. Normally you can't play that many 5s in your deck, right?
Yeah.
Especially a more aggressive deck, but Bloodthirsty Adversary being that split card with that pseudo kicker works really well. I've got plenty of spells to flashback with it. So this is a little bit bigger of a mono red deck. Only 4 1-drops, 4 2-drops, but I've got a lot of cheap removal too.
Okay.
A lot of heavy hitters later on with Hellkite, Volatile Arsonist, kicked Bloodthirsty Adversaries, and things like that.
Okay, I like it. So this deck is actually a play on my SCG Invitational winning standard deck. Just kind of is it turns, but really testing out Alchemist Gambit to see if that extra time walk, although much worse than Alrund's Epiphany. This card is just worse in every way you can look at. You can look at it only casting 3 and think, yeah, some games maybe you get to win when you go like Goldspan, you have 2 treasures, you can sack it immediately, and maybe you have another Goldspan to like finish them off, something like that. Those kind of things will kind of come up, but all around, I think it's much worse than Alrund, and I don't think it's going to see a ton of play for that reason, unless just 7 time walks or whatever is just really, really good. Could be. You never know. 1 change of fortune.
Notably, it is a time walk that does not get affected by Redain. Uses mana value is 3. So even if you're casting it for the cleave cost, the mana value is still 3.
Still gets hit by Thalia, though, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Doesn't get hit by Redain.
Yeah, that's interesting. So then I'm trying out Chandra as well, just as a little bit of a ramp spell. That's truly all it is. I'm not even ramping into 5s that much. Basically, in this deck, since it doesn't super synergize with it, it's just the is it busted check. Like kind of throwing it in like Chandra Torch of Defiance, where that was just incredible at that point. Kind of just seeing if it's good with that. And then a cheeky one of Change of Fortune. And then putting this Dragon card in the sideboard to be able to, just be a decent body. Might bring it in here. It seems kind of cool.
Yeah. The Change of Fortune is there to synergize with the Galvanic iteration.
Yeah.
When you copy it, the second, the original, so the copy is going to resolve. Say you have 4 cards left after that, right?
Yep.
You're going to discard, draw 4 more cards. Then the original is going to resolve after the copy. You're going to discard those 4 cards you just drew, but now it's the card or the card sees that you've discarded 8 cards this turn, so you just draw 8.
Wow. Okay, that's pretty cool. It's kind of an unexpected windfall with a little bit of a kicker.
Yeah,
I'm in.
Instead of getting a lot more mana from it, you end up just getting a ton more cards.
And I don't know if you noticed, man. I think your trophies actually ended up here instead of over there. I went to the bathroom. I don't know what happened.
Or they've been there the entire time.
Have they?
Yeah.
Huh. I guess I just only focused on one trophy now. That's the only one I care about, I guess. So, what?
You know what they say? It's about quantity, not quality.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Yeah, that's the phrase that everyone uses.
That's what's the phrase. You gonna move your trophies now?
Oh no.
Okay. I'll let you do your bit. Half your show as well. Rob, you're not going to punch him over or anything?
We're getting into the fall. We're getting a little less sunlight. We're going to have to turn the clocks back this coming weekend. I just want to maintain the tan I've built up over the summer, so I want the reflection.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
See, Corey, I just have the power to mute him.
Oh, good call. Good call.
So,
Man, I wish I had. If I could get one superpower in life, that's what it would. Flying, who cares? Getting wishes or whatever. Just IRL muting Ross whenever I wanted. That would be ideal. All right, let's battle.
I have cleverly sequenced the matchups here so I get to be on the play when I'm playing aggro decks.
Yes, makes sense.
And I will keep my hand.
I'm gonna keep. It's a little sketchy, but some of the cards here are not gonna be the best against aggro. So we'll see what we got.
I've got a Den and a Wolf Rider.
Okay. I have a Snarl. I'll reveal this and pass to you.
Do I want to take a bit of a risk here? I'm going to play Mountain and attack.
Okay, I'll take it.
19?
Yep.
Pass the turn.
All right, I just have a land go.
On your end step, I'm going to play with Fire You.
Ouch.
and scry.
17.
Really want to hit my next land drop. That would have been a horrible draw, so let's bottom that.
Ross is playing with fire over there.
Oh, I made a land drop, but it's not a great one.
Okay.
I'll play a Spikefield Cave.
Okay, of course.
I guess now I'll play this adversary. I was thinking about playing last turn. That's fine.
Yep.
Attack for 1. You go to 16. Pass the turn.
Yeah, kind of a interesting which land to play as well. I don't think my Spikefield Hazard is that good either, so I'm going to play this that I just drew and hope I don't get punished by it actually being good.
Oh, I'll attack for 1.
Okay, 15.
15. I will play a Chandra.
Chandra, zoink.
Obviously, drew Spikefield Cave again this turn. You're up.
Okay, good. All right. That isn't the best draw, but I'm going to just play a land and I'll pass to you.
So I could just play this and make a token.
Uh-oh.
Doesn't seem half bad. Yeah, I'm going to see how that plays. I'll play Wolf Rider and pass the turn.
You exile 3 cards?
Yep.
Okay, that's pretty cute. All right. End step, I'll abrade them both.
Okay, I'll make a token in response.
Okay.
I think you can grab that token for me. You know, it's been hard all day. You've been doing it the entire time.
Nope. Have fun if you want your token.
We're using the 3/2 spirits from Mascot Exhibition for Red Wolves here.
Makes sense. I'll play Hall and pass to you. Deck the Halls.
Attack you for 3.
Okay, I'm at 12.
I'll play a Mountain and a Maniform Hellkite.
Okay, let me do another read on this one.
It's okay. It's only in your deck.
Yeah, it's only in my sideboard. Okay. Yeah, that is a really cool card.
Okay, pass the turn.
All right, I'll play a land and I will flashback Galvanic Iteration.
Yep.
And I'll Fading Hope these two. I'll do 1 scry. I don't really want an Abrade that doesn't kill everything, and I'll pass to you.
Interesting.
Okay.
I will play a Reckless Stormseeker.
Okay.
Target it and attack for 3.
I'm at 9.
And it is now day. You're up.
Day. A draw. All right, well, let's start taking some turns, I suppose. I'll all runs.
Okay.
Get some birdies. And I'll attack.
At 18.
I'll cast all runs. I'll get some birdies. I'll draw. I'll attack. I'll cleave Alchemist Gambit.
I'm at 14.
Oh, yeah, I don't think I want this. No. I have Unexpected Windfall, so I'll keep that. You're at 14?
Yep.
I'll draw. I'll attack. I'll Alchemist's Gambit. I'll be taking the turns.
And I'm dead.
Are you just dead? Yeah.
Yeah, you just have the Hall.
So I started with just Alchemist, and then these were the top 3 cards of my deck. Well, I guess that's what Time Walks do if you have 7 of them.
Okay.
Welcome to Standard. That's the clip of the day. That's the clip of the day.
I guess that's how you drew it up. Just 7 lands, mono interaction, and then a pile of Time Walks on top of your deck.
Look what was on top. I was going to be taking another turn. You were dead. Oh, that was fun. Did you have fun? You didn't have fun? Okay. That could be standard, y'all, if that card actually ends up being good. I mean, honestly, I think that if you're playing that amount of Time Walks, a card that I really like, Unexpected Windfall still being the most important, but I like the Celestis. You know, like if you're trying to take that many more turns, just having actual ramp, you know, I think could be pretty good.
So
but
if people are playing a bunch of Abrades, Celestis could be a liability.
that's a good point. Yeah. Celestis was already not great when people decided that they wanted to play 2 Prismari commands. Like I played 2. That was like the worst card in my deck the whole weekend. I wish I played 0, but all right, Rob, you got any questions while we shuffle up our second game? Wait. Ooh, do I get to? I saw this was a commander thing, but when we have questions, can I just ding at you? That wouldn't be annoying, right?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Also, if you have questions, then how's the chat gonna have questions?
Good point. My question is to ask
definitely wouldn't
questions
want to
for
give
you.
chat the keys to a bell.
Yeah, good point. Oh yeah, that sounds like a nightmare. Also,
Yeah,
a
they
nightmare.
definitely seem. I don't know if excited is the right word to put
Scared.
it about about that maybe being a deck.
I'd be a little frightened too, but to be fair, that was a pretty smooth draw there. Or pretty smooth top 4. I just had 4 time walks on top. But I guess when you play that many of them, the odds are you're going to do that more often, but the odds are you're going to have those in your opener too, which is also very bad.
Yeah, let's hopefully see that side of things as well.
I mean, I'm with you.
7 lands, mono interaction. Exactly.
4 time walks on top.
Yeah.
No, I liked it.
This is going to be the first time in 4 games I make 3 consecutive untapped land drops.
That's impressive. I mean, I'm going to keep
my hand
this
is
well.
not good.
Yeah, my hand is not that great either, but I'm going to try it.
And we'll start with Den Wolfrider.
Okay. Oh, that made it a lot better. I will play a Snarl, and I'll pass this. I played 3 Snarls this weekend. Can you believe it? Such a bad card.
Attack for 1.
19.
I will play a Spikefield Cave and pass.
Okay.
Apparently I lied.
Then I'll pass to you.
And step, I'll play with Fire You.
Okay, I'm at 17.
Bottom that.
Okay.
That sounds about right. Attack for 1.
I'll take it.
You're at 16.
16.
Royal Eruption you.
Is that 3 damage?
Yep.
Okay, I'll take it.
You're at 13.
13.
You're up.
All right, end step. I will abrade this. 1 tap. Chandra. I'll tick up to, I guess, deal a damage. I don't have anything else to do with it. Because, yeah, I can't play anything off the top, right? Okay. All right. You're at 19. Go ahead.
Maybe if you had some kobolds in your deck.
Yeah.
Oh my God, go.
What a time to be alive. Okay. Now what do I want to start with? I suppose I still just start with expressive iteration.
Yep.
Snarl here. Actually, this here, this on bottom. Play this, and I'll tick up, and I'll Field of Ruin Den. And I will get a mountain. Was it what you needed on top?
This is the best possible card.
I knew it. I had to get it out of there. All right. I hope I get to read what this ultimate ability does at some point, but I still don't know what it does at the moment, but that's okay. Then I'll pass to you. My hand is still very bad, though. I will tell you that.
Probably better than mine.
Yeah? Okay.
Okay, that might do something.
Okay.
I have my own Chandra.
Okay.
I could ping yours,
Yep.
or I can try to hit a cheap spell. I think I will try to hit a spell.
Okay.
That's a land.
Okay.
I'll play a mountain and pass.
Alrighty. I will draw. Oh, my hand is still really bad, but I will start with an expressive iteration. Wow. Just wow. Okay, I will put this here. I'll put this into my hand and this on bottom. Do I have to play it? If it's red, you may cast it this turn. So I don't have to like play a land first, right?
Well, you can't play lands off of it.
Well, I mean, I'm saying like, you know, if it's a 3-drop that I reveal,
Yeah, yeah.
and I'd have to do it.
Yeah, you
right
don't
away.
have to cast the spell
Okay,
immediately.
so I'm gonna exile the top card if it's red. Huh. All right, I'll cast this. Hello. Wow. Guess I'll get one into my hand. That was absurd. And I will play this and pass to you. Do I even want to play this? Hang on. I don't even want to play that. I'm going to play a Den instead. I'll just let this go to exile.
Go.
Yes. Okay. Well, I guess I will go like this. Reveal a land. I'll tick up, add mana, and time walk. And I get to read the ultimate. Exile top 5 cards of your library. You may cast red spells among them. Get an emblem with whenever you cast a red spell. This emblem deals X damage, where X is the amount of mana spent for that spell. That seems good. All right, I'll draw. Let's spin the dice. Exile the top 5.
0 red cards.
Oh, so I just don't get to play any of them?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Well, that
But you
didn't
do
work
have the
out
emblem
well.
still.
Okay, so the emblem.
Whenever you cast a red spell, you deal X damage to any target. Where X is the mana spent to cast the spell.
Okay, all right. Not
So
bad.
if you cleave another gambit, you can 7 someone.
Okay, so I will go like this and discard this and do 4 here. Get a couple of treasurinos. Oop, that's the one thing I think I forgot to tell you, Rob. I need some treasures. I'll just use these for now. That's
Sure.
Oh, actually, that's pretty fitting. No, it's gonna be that. It's gonna be that pretty soon. Then I will any red spell or red card. Or you cast a red spell. Okay, that's unfortunate. All right, then I will play this, revealing this, and cast a Chandra. And I will tick up.
You have a Chandra trigger, emblem trigger.
No, it's a red spell. Oh, yeah. What am I thinking? Okay, 3 to
Are
you.
you really a pro Magic player, Corey?
16.
Some days I don't know. And then I'll
This is
tick
just
up,
par for the course during preview season.
deal a damage. And I might have played a land. I think I did, and I'll pass to you.
Well, I just assumed that Corey would know what a spell is.
Sick hand, bro. Sick hand.
Top 4 after that. 4
Wow.
more lands.
So what did I
5,
shuffle away?
6.
Wow.
Oh, there we go. Only needed to go 20 cards deep to find a second threat.
All 5 of those trophies are really helping you out.
Yeah, they're
there.
really helping you out. I know what I want in my trophy now. All the marbles in there. Now this is the
I
ultimate
apologize
trophy.
to anyone who had just had to hear that sound.
Oh, I
Yeah.
bet that was
Probably
loud. Well, now this trophy is complete. Now you have the second best trophy this year, mixed with the first one being the marbles. So, I mean, now it's complete. We got time for
I
another
was
one?
up a match, up a game, and then I just drew the worst possible every game.
Well, on the bright side, we got time for just one pity game.
Well, we got to do some sideboarding.
Oh, yeah, good point. Okay,
Yeah.
well, pity sideboarding here. So, all right, we're going to take a short break. Mr. Trophies here is probably going to have to put his trophies away. And then we will bring you some sideboarding here between Is It Turns and Mono Red, just Mono Mountain. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Versus Live, where we are sideboarding in our matchup between Mono Red Aggro and Is It Turns. On my side of things, a lot of it is just taking out the cheap burn spells that don't line up against Corey's threats, and bringing in some more threats to be a little bit, more threat dense. Sunstreak Phoenix and Roiling Vortex being those. Also bringing in my Thundering Rebukes to deal with Goldsmith Dragons, Leers, Smoldering Eggs, all of those things. So we've got some more efficient removal there. Hopefully we'll be able to, have a functional hand for the first time in an hour and a half. But
Yeah, and then for me, a last-minute change that I want to keep in just 2 time walks, but we're bringing in 3 Dragon's Fires because mixed with the Dragons can actually deal with your 4/4s. Otherwise, the Abrades were pretty awkward, so taking these Abrades out, and then bring in 2 Goldspan Dragons, taking out Fading Hope as well, and then 1 Galvanic Iteration, kind of transform sideboard into a Dragon-style deck and just see how they do. Yeah, that game was fun. That game was really enjoyable. Honestly, the first game was more ridiculous. The just 4 time walks in a row on top is much crazier.
yeah, I thought I was fine. I had 2 dragons in my hand. You were
Yeah.
pretty low on resources. Like a Leer would have been game over.
Yeah, I'm
But
not
I guess
playing those.
also
Yeah.
ripping 4 straight time walks will do it too.
That'll do. It was only 3, but the 4th was there. All right, so we got one pity game. You got a question, Rob, before we get into our final game here for the show today?
I'm trying to find the card,
Okay.
fortunately.
And I will be, reminder everyone, keep an eye on my Twitter. I'll be heading home and I'll be releasing my preview card today, and it's a nice one. Might be the best preview card I have ever released. Just saying. It's going to be good. All right. Well, we'll shuffle
Well,
up.
at least it's better than a hopeful draft common.
Huh?
You said a lot of yours were like draft commons, right?
Hey, I had some draft uncommons, okay?
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, we'll just start while you figure out that question
Yeah,
there,
that's
Rob.
fine.
I will keep my hand.
I think I will as well. It's a little iffy, but I'm in.
Okay. I will go to 17 and play a Wolf Rider.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
17. I will draw. That was not a good draw. I will reveal a mountain and I'll pass to you.
I will go to 14.
Okay.
I will play a Bloodthirsty Adversary.
Okay.
Attack for 3.
Uh-oh, an aggressive start.
14, 17.
Yeah.
You're up. Yeah, I'm dealing a ton of damage here.
Yeah. I don't
Most of
like
it to myself, but
Yeah, yeah. All right, I have a Snar revealing this, and I'll pass to you.
attack for 3.
Okay, I'll take it. 14.
all. Go.
Okay, okay.
And another game where I don't play a third land.
Yeah, this could be troublesome, though. All right, I have a Chandra,
Sure.
and I'll take up and deal you a damage. Add 1 red
13.
mana, and that's it. Pass to you. What do you have, 14?
Or
13?
I'm a 13 for me, 14
I'm
for you.
winning. I'm winning.
Royal Eruption, Chandra, attack you for 2, it for 1.
Okay, it's dead. I'm
You're
at 12.
Pass the turn.
Okay. I will play a Jwari tapped, and I'll pass to you.
Oh,
You're so lucky.
Got another counterspell.
That I do.
Attack for 3.
Okay, I'll be at 9.
Pass the turn.
All right, big draw step for moi. Ooh. Oh no, I'm pulled a Ross Merriam and drew a tap land. All right, I have a den tapped, and I'll pass to you.
Attack for 3.
I'll take it down to 6.
I'll play a Chandra.
I'll respond with Unexpected Windfall. Get a couple of treasures. Draw 2 cards. Maybe I'll have a Jwari. Nope, that's fine.
Okay, I'll make a red, deal you 1.
Okay, I'm
Won't
at
do anything
5.
else. You're 5.
You're in trouble. You're in trouble. I have a Goldspan Dragon. I'll attack this and then Time Walk with Kicker. I get a 3rd treasure,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll get a Time Walk and then I'll untap.
Well, you don't have any Alrund's Epiphanies, so that's good.
What?
If you cast the Gambit
Oh,
first,
yeah. No, that's
Yeah.
true. But I did just top deck again. Oh, boy. Well, the question is, do I actually want to cast it this turn? I kind of think no. So I'm just going to attack, get a treasure.
I'm at 9.
And, oh, wait, are you just dead if I do that?
You only have 8, but if you have like a Spikefield Hazard, I'm dead.
No, I don't. So I think it's safer for me to just wait. Yeah. Okay, I will pass to you.
I will attack you for 3.
I will iteration.
Yep.
And double Dragonfire, choosing this.
I'll rebuke the dragon.
Dang it. I'll get a treasure. And not much I can do about it.
That's the turn.
Oh. All right. I'll attack.
Go to 5.
And I'll pass to you. Good day for you, huh?
That's unbelievable.
Oh, wait a minute. I just killed you with this. I just get to do it. Yeah. I don't even need the... This is where the actual turn didn't matter, right? Because I just kill you next turn.
Yep.
Sweet. The alternate cost I'd totally forget about. Wow. Pretty fun. Pretty fun stuff. Okay, maybe that card is probably going to win anyways, but I guess that those kind of situations will come up.
Yeah.
You know?
It'll be situations like that with a creature land, right? Where it being 3 mana lets you get one more attack in with the creature land and just ends the game.
You know what? I think that teamer deck we're talking about, you think about that's going into a Zeeka's Chariot, something like that where your battlefield snowballs.
Yeah.
That's where it would make a little bit more sense. Maybe all runs shouldn't even be played in that one, because you don't want to play 8 in that style of deck, you know? Maybe that's where I want to just play like 3 or 4 of that and play Goldspan, play a Zeeka's Chariot, and that one might actually be better than all runs in that scenario where you can still pair it with an aggressive deck. Maybe not. We'll get in the lab, but
you can try it. They've tried that kind of Final Fortune template a lot. It generally doesn't work because...
What was it? Hour of Glory was the most recent one? Yeah. And cloning that does nothing, right? Because you still lose the game after the first turn.
Sure. I mean, you can iterate it with the 7 mana version and be fine.
No, that works. But you can't just iterate the 3-1 and take 2 turns and not die.
Not unless you have like Platinum Angel the next turn, right?
Yeah.
Some effect like that.
You can't lose the game effect. I think there was something printed like that, but I can't remember what.
The problem with those effects has generally been the only time they're relevant is when you have enough to attack for lethal with one more attack, but otherwise you'd be losing. Mm-hmm. And most of the time when you're in a position to attack for lethal, you're winning the game.
Yeah.
So, it's oftentimes a win more card and then, clunky whenever you're behind.
Yeah. And I guess I would have lost the game there if you just had play with fire. I would have literally killed myself for no reason. But you would have played with fire immediately there anyways. But yeah.
And obviously, why would I ever have a card I need?
Yeah. Well, you did sign him up, but yeah. Yeah, that was some very unfortunate sides for you and very fortunate for me. I mean, the time walked in a row was ridiculous. And then, you just drawing every single mountain in your entire deck for game 2.
I played 4 games where I didn't make my 3rd land drop and 1 game where I made 12 land drops.
Yeah.
Those are my last 5 games of the day.
Yeah.
I was up a match, up a game.
Yeah.
Feeling good.
About to lock me out of the marbles.
Yeah.
But now the marbles are swimming in here.
It's just like, you know what? What if you just don't get to play real Magic for an hour and a half?
Did you like it? Did you have a good day?
It was like the end of my invitational.
Yeah. And, this is like the end of my invitational as well. So this about sums up how our tournaments were expected to go and how they did go. So all is well in the world of Versus Live.
The unfortunate thing is that because of those draws, I have no idea what to think about any of the cards in my deck. So normally I'd be sitting here telling you my impressions of them. Do I think they're good? I honestly have no clue.
Yeah.
So,
The one thing I'll say about Chandra is I was underwhelmed. It still felt like the problem I was foreseeing with the deck is that if you pressured me, it is so bad on the draw. That's what I was really worried about. And I think that's going to be true. But the one thing I really do like is the snow version that can tick up. But I don't think you can play 2 colors. But Chandra also wants you to be mono red, I guess.
I have a 2-color list in my article that has 32 hits.
Okay.
Obviously you'd like to be drawing a card every turn, right?
Yeah.
But I liken it to Domri Raid, if you remember the days of that card. 3-mana Planeswalker.
Didn't that fight though?
Yeah. But this also, generates mana for you, which is a good thing.
Yeah. But fighting is protecting. Adding mana is not. That is a big difference.
Yeah. Well, that's why you have to add mana and cast removal spells. So every single list I have, this deck has 8 1-mana red removal spells.
Yeah, except the one you played, right?
No, this has 8. 4 play kill hazard, 4 play with fire. There's not good in the matchup, so I boarded them all out.
Yeah.
So that's there's a lot of deck building restrictions that Chandra places on you. Mm-hmm. Chandra is another, that's not a plug and play card, it's a build around card.
Yeah.
But in the right shell, it is very, very powerful.
Yeah. No, I'm excited to look more into it. First impression, though, for me, happy to be wrong later on because I also thought Oko was pretty weak right away, but not impressed with it. But
I would much rather play it as opposed to as is it Turn Shell and then is it Dragon Shell? Because I want to have that 5-drop to ramp into as well, like casting Goldspan Dragon on turn 4 after going turn 3, kill your thing with my Planeswalker. Then I +1, deal you 1, play a Goldspan attack, and have a 2-mana interaction spell up as well, and you're just burying your opponent in tempo at that point.
Yeah, you know what I want in there too is like Galazeth Prismari.
Yeah,
that's a card that seems sweet with that too, and Goldspan Dragons and stuff. Yeah,
so it's not really a control card.
Yeah,
This wants to be in a more aggressive shell, and the aggressive shells also mean that the incidental damage that it deals. You rarely think about that, but if you activate it 2, 3, 4 times, you're going to generate a lightning bolt worth of damage. Yeah, and that really does sometimes just lower your clock by a turn, make your gold spans kill them. That might set up turns where you're playing with the time walk. Like I could see games where you go like Goldspan, attack you for 4, have 1 mana left over, like probably maybe with Chandra, and cast the Time Walk for 3 mana, untap, activate a creature land, get in with that in Goldspan, and kill them.
Yeah. So 2 decks I for sure want to try are Teamer with Chariot, and I want to try Is It Dragon Shell with Snow as well with Chandra. I think those are the first 2 that I really want to try. That sounds really cool. I like that idea.
The problem is you can't play a lot of mono blue cards. You got to play because you need your red count.
No, none. Basically none. I don't even know if I want to play Alruns. I might play the Gambit instead.
Yeah. So you can play that new 3-drop. You can, if you have enough, non-creatures. Yeah. You can play, Unexpected Windfall if you wanted to go bigger. If you want to go smaller, you have plenty of cheap removal that you can play.
I mean, still one of the better plays that Unexpected Windfall plays with Goldspan, and is something we didn't see a lot. I played 1 Goldspan in my sideboard, and I kind of wish I played another one because Prismari Command was poopy for me all weekend. But Unexpected Windfall on turn 4. Dragon on turn 5, all of a sudden you have 6 mana when you attack. You just saw I was able to time walk there, and those kind of turns are awesome.
Yeah. And if you got the Chandra, that's your 7th mana for those time walks.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we got a lot of stuff to be checking out. Rob, do you have one last question before we thank some subs and thank some sponsors?
I do. We did have so the card is Headless Rider.
Okay.
It's 2 and a black for a creature zombie. It's a 3/1. Whenever Headless Rider or another non-token zombie you control dies, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token.
Okay.
Not with Decayed?
Correct.
Oh, baby.
That could be good.
The zombie deck I'm building just keeps getting better.
Oh, yeah. Zombie decks could be sweet.
Just keeps getting better. Oh, my God.
Love it. Love it. I'm excited to try it.
Oh, that's going to be Thursday. Shotgun Zombies.
Okay. You got it.
Already have the deck mostly built.
You got it. I mean, you need to return from the dead after getting so beat down here, so we better give you the zombies.
Can't wait for him to draw none of his lands or all of his lands.
Exactly, yeah. It's going to be great. All right, Rob, how about you thank some subs? We're going to thank some sponsors, and we're going to head on out of here.
All right. As far as subs today, we got Hesteus for 26 months, Lord Hermes, and God of Metagame for 4 months. So thank you to all of them and all of our other subs.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks for that. We also got Premium. You can buy it. It's like $8. you get some stuff. We write for it, or at least I do. A lot of other people do. We're pretty good. You should do that.
That was the worst plug I've ever heard you do.
StarCityGames.com/premium. You get like 5% off of some things, 10% off of other things, 50% off some other stuff.
We've broken Ross. He can't even plug correctly.
I was going to say, I can hear Cedric writing up the notes now.
Yeah, no kidding. Cedric is calling your phone as you speak. Absolutely. How about this? We got
5% off sealed product, 10% off of singles, 15% off of supplies, $7.99 a month.
How about Crimson Vow? That's coming up next. You saw us playing with the cards. We can pre-order actual cards now too, Rob, right? Yeah, so any cards that you have seen previewed already, you can pre-order these individual cards as well as individual sealed product already and have them at your doorstep whenever we actually get to release the product. So go to starcitygames.com/previews to get more information on that.
And if you need to pick up a little extra cash to get the new cards that you're looking for or just rebuild your paper collection because it's been 2 years of not playing Paper Magic, Star City Games is always buying cards that you may not need, and the process has never been easier because there's so many ways to do it. You can use the buy list feature on the website. You can mail your cards into SCG and let them do the work for you. You can come in, make an appointment to come into the store and do your business in person. And if your collection is big enough, you can make that appointment and have Star City Games come to you. So pick whichever works best for your situation, and always keep in mind that when trading in cards for store credit, you'll get a 30% bonus.
Absolutely. And our next order of business is the sale this week, and that is 15% off all promo cards. So if you like, if you're probably like me and Ross, we probably have 1 million Mutavaults and Cryptic Command promos from the SCG Tour last year.
I sold all of those promos last week. It felt great.
It didn't feel good. It's unburdened you,
I got that 30% bonus.
Well, then, believe it or not, we have a lot of them available if you want to buy some promo cards.
That 30% bonus amounted to over $400.
I know. I'm telling you, I sold a ton of cards, too, and got that kickback of all the extra stuff. This is truly still the time to be selling cards to SCG. It is nice to get that kickback. You just bought all your decks, and it was like, no problem, right?
Oh, easy game.
Same. And even Death Shadow was just expensive, but I had so much credit from selling all my cards. It was...
I want to throw one of them in the trash now, but it has a bunch of cards that are otherwise useful. So.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. So 15% off all promo cards up until Sunday at 11:59 p.m. So make sure to get that order in throughout the week and over the weekend if you like those style of cards. And you can go to starcitygames.com/sale for more information on that.
And last but not least, we'd like to thank our sponsor, Coalesce Apparel. If you like the shirts that we wear, if you can see mine, you can find their entire collection at coalesceapparel.shop, and be sure to use the gift code SCG when checking out to get 10% off of your purchase there as well.
Absolutely. So thank you so much for watching, everyone. This was a really fun episode for one of us. So we are going to be continuing the fun.
It wasn't me.
We're going to be continuing all the fun for me on Thursday by playing more Crimson Vow Standard. There's a ton left to explore. Can't wait to make Ross tilt again. So if you want to watch that as well, make sure to tune in Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, where we're going to have some more magical action. But for Rob, for Ross, for Lost Merriam, for Corey Baumeister, we'll see you then.